What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine 2023 to you all. Good to see ya. What is up, No Men Credo? Tell y'all, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank you. Ooh, none of the Streamlabs stuff is working. Chat isn't working. Oh boy. Twitch has been having problems. I was afraid we weren't actually going to be able to stream today because Twitch is just like non-functional, but we'll see. I mean, it's working-ish now, enough that we're, hey, and there's chat too. Okay, we're getting there. It's happening. But good to see you, everyone. Hopefully you had a amazing, spectacular holiday season. Hostafarian for the 38th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. And Tally Hall, welcome you as well. Big soup for you. Thank you. It's kind of working good enough that we can do some sweet Phyrexian podding. This deck is so this is an infamous small Japanese tournament deck, but wow, does this deck look sweet. And it's getting me hyped for Phyrexian All Will Be One. Hey, what's up, Lord Prophets? How are you? Good to see you. What is up, 8 Links, Dolph Group, Kelsey, welcome. Have you tried anything with Eldrazi on Arena? Actually, tomorrow for Against the Odds. We didn't have an Against the Odds poll because of the holidays, and I wasn't sure when I was going to be working on videos. Tomorrow's Against the Odds deck. It's not Eldrazi, but it is involving Eldrazi. You're going to like tomorrow's deck is so sweet. Oh my goodness. So many good vibes for tomorrow's Against the Odds deck. So yeah, if you're waiting for Eldrazi, that's coming up tomorrow. Yeah, this deck is so sweet. Kabbalin! Thank you for the cheers. Welcome. So anyway, let's do a reminder. We got off to a little bit of a late start because of the Twitch stuff. Talk about our deck, start playing Magic. Then we can talk about the holiday season. We can talk about Magic. We talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Cloudy music. Welcome to the Fishbowl. The hype train is incoming. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoop for you. Thank you. So reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff coming up on the YouTube. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, really fun Against the Odds deck that I think you're gonna like. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them at cardkingdom.com. You got Domineer Remastered there and everything else. You can even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes and they'll hook you up. Otherwise, I'm sorry, new player. It took a little bit longer than normal because Twitch was down, but we're here. We made it. I guess there isn't a one-drop Phyrexian. No, that is the challenge of this deck. This deck started as a infamous small Japanese tournament deck, and I thought about it, and I messed around with it a little bit, and I did a search, and I was like, okay, a little awkward. There's like our only 5-drop is Defiler of Dooms, because the idea of this deck, this is Phyrexian Tribal Birthing Pod, I guess, which is just such a ridiculous idea. Yoda Man, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. And Luke, welcome you as well. Big soup for you. So the idea of this deck, it's a Phyrexian deck. Every creature in the deck is a Phyrexian, and we're hoping to use Pyre of Heroes as our birthing pod to work our way up the Phyrexian curve. And there's some sweet shenanigans with Phyrexians. Daisy Guppy, oh, so many subs today. The hype train is definitely running. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. So the idea is Pyre of Heroes, birthing pod, but only for tribe members. So we can only turn Phyrexians into more Phyrexians. And we have some sweet shenanigans where we like Pyre of Heroes, an Evangel of Synthesis that loots when it comes into play to get a Gurgling Anointer. And then hopefully that gets something back when it dies. And we pot up to a Gitaxian Puppeteer, which gets back the Anointer. And then the Puppeteer, the weak spot on the curve, is the only 5-mana Phyrexian in our colors is Defiler. And even if we go outside of our colors, there just is not a 5-drop Phyrexian, other than more Defilers, honestly, which are kind of the same thing. So that's the weak spot on our birthing pod curve. And I did a search for Phyrexians to try to find more options, and there's just not a lot. So I think this is a deck that should get even better once we get to Phyrexian All Will Be One, because we'll probably get a lot more Phyrexians and hopefully round out some of the weak spots on the curve. But anyway, we work our way up the curve. Defiler of Dreams. We can sacrifice that to get Massacre Worm or Worm Coil Engine, and sacrifice that to get a Shieldred or a Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Oh, check your arena. Is there ever anything good in the arena mail? Explore Anthology. That was a month ago. Happy holidays. Thank you, Arena. Brothers War Rages On. Wow, these are like old messages. Thank you, Arena. I appreciate it. So that's the plan for today. We're going to start off with, I miss your sub matches. Oh no. Dandy Floss. Wait, when did I miss your sub fletches? Oh, I did. My apologies. Dandy Floss. 17th month. We indeed. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There are 5-mana changelings. Is there a changeling that would work here that would be better? 5 mana is like the weak spot. That is the weakest spot by far. I guess Moriat, but that's not even 5 mana because it's going to be a clone. There really isn't. Like, there's just, if we go 5 drops and go changelings, Moriat, if we go Phyrexian, like, that's the one awkward spot. Defiler, Psychosis, I guess Psychosis Crawler, but that's not any better really than Defiler. It's still not something you really want to sack, so I don't know, but let's give it a shot. Let's jump into some games and see can Phyrexian Pod of all things actually work. We're gonna see. Hey, Lucid handing out the gift sub to Kelsey. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip, Jeremy. Thank you. So how was everyone's holidays? How was everyone's holiday season? We missed last Thursday's stream because of the holidays. Hopefully everyone had a spectacular New Year, a good holiday season. Did I have a good New Year? I did. It was well, sort of. It was a good New Year and a good holiday season. My car broke down, which kind of is a bummer. I hate dealing with car stuff. We need to invent some sort of car that lasts forever and never breaks down. I don't care how crappy the car is. I don't care about having like a nice car. I just want a car that will always start and get me to where I want to go, even if it's just a pile of nuts and bolts and whatever. But yes, car stuff was annoying. Oh my goodness, did I tell you? Oh, this was so good. So you're gonna love this. Public transportation, I wish. I live in such a rural area that there's just not really options for public transportation. If you live in a city, I think that definitely a great option. You can get everywhere you need to go without having a car, but I live so far away from everywhere that just living out here, a car is sadly still pretty much a necessity. All right, we got a pod. We got a Vault Scourge to pod. We got an Inquisition. We put the Defiler to the bottom. This hand actually seems decent. We can see the full power of the potting, perhaps. Okay, so your LGS shut down. Oh no, that's so not great. LGS shut the doors forever on Christmas. Now it's an hour's drive. Oh, I'm sorry, Toast. That's not great. Do you think that Phyrexia will be one? Can Erden will deliver? I think it will. They can't mess this up. They can't mess this one up, right? Like, you just make cool Phyrexian things and play off the Praetors and reference old stuff from last time we went to Phyrexia. It seems, ooh, this is an expensive hand. All right, well, let's Phyrexian them. I think they're not gonna mess it up. Would I ever own an LGS? So against my better judgment, I would love to own an LGS. I think I would very much enjoy it. Like, I like the Magic card business. I used to buy and sell collections. I like Magic players. I like hanging out with all of you. I think it would be really sweet to own LGS. Financially, I'm sure it is probably a very bad idea. I always hear that it's a bad idea. We have a new donation from, we get to pod here. We get a new donation from Lucid, $3 donation. Seth, my friend gave me some of her own cards from ages ago in a Mirage box. Turned out it was a full Mirage Revised Alliances of Visions cards, including a $90 Lake of the Dead. Ooh, that is awesome, Lucid. That is so sweet. Congratulations. Sounds like an actual good friend. That's super cool. Okay, so holiday story. You're so good. So maybe I always thought if I ever get to a point, because you know what, content creation, who knows? Like, who knows the world of content creation? Can you be making content 10 years from now, 20 years from now? What will the world look like? Will any of it still be here? Will content still be a thing? Will magic still be a thing? So you never know if content creation and streaming is kind of your main thing. Frisbee Biscuits, I always thought if there's ever a time when I'm not making content all the time and I'm gonna do something else, you know what I'd really love to do? I'd love to open an LGS. I'd love to open an LGS and just be able to hang out with people. We're gonna pod, by the way, and get actually maybe Gix is, well, no. Okay, let's get Anointer. I think Anointer's better. Get the Anointer. So I think that's something that could happen in the future, although it's gotta be It's got to be a very bad financial decision. Dehender and Frisky Biscuits, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Soup Jeffrey, thank you. Well, now I kind of wish we got the Gix because I was assuming our opponent was just going to Matter Reshaper and have a blocker. But instead, they went a very different direction. Okay, this should work though, because now we can Vault Scourge. And then Vault Scourge. Sack it to the pod, Pyre of Heroes it. Now we can get the Gix and get in with the Anointer and draw a card. Seems good. All right, get the Gix. Phyrexia. Do they have is this a removal spell with our colorless mana? Does that even exist on Arena? Is there a colorless card I'm not aware of that's gonna blow us out? First time watching the stream, back to Magic in late 2022 after having been on hiatus since Amonkhet. Welcome back. Good to have you, dear brain. Glad to have you back. Magic's in a pretty interesting place since you've been gone. It is amazing. Amonkhet wasn't that long ago. It is amazing how much you have missed and just how much the game has changed. All right, get in with the Anointer. That's a big hit because that means if Anointer dies, we get to get back the Vault Scourge at least. Go loose. Big Ugin is a bit frightening. Just a little bit. Oh, okay, so. Ooh, I should have remembered to turn off my phone. So here's the story. Oh, it's so good. So it's the holidays. We get a big family Christmas party. Everyone gets together. My little nephew Jax, who I absolutely love. He's just like the craziest little 3-year-old kid, but he loves Among Us. Among Us is like his favorite thing. I didn't know this existed, and I don't know why now he loves Among Us so much, but there's this obsession with Among Us. There's this Among Us game that I didn't know existed, where you just like walk around and like hit people, kind of. It's almost like a little kids Among Us slasher game almost, where you're just like hitting people with bats and stuff, and that's how the game's played. But he loves Among Us. It's his favorite thing. So he got for Christmas a red Among Us with devil horns, and he loves this thing. It's like his favorite toy. So he gets this red Among Us for Christmas. He's super hyped about it. The next day, Bear goes over there to hang out. We're all hanging out. No one's really paying any attention. Bear sneaks off by himself and destroys the Among Us. Absolutely destroys it. Chews it up in just like a pile of red goo. It was like a plushie. So he just absolutely destroys the Among Us. And Jax is the first person to go in the room. He's 3 years old. He goes in the room and he just starts screaming, "Why? Why would they do this to me? Why?" He was so crushed. And I tried to tell him that red was sus and it was fine, but he didn't buy it. So I had to buy him another Among Us. I tried. What I should have done, and I didn't think of this at the time, I should have made him go look for the imposter. Like, it played it off like like someone was dead and it was part of the game. That might have got me out of having to buy him another Among Us, but it was pretty funny. And then also, so it gets better. So a couple days later, do we want to sack this Anointer? What are we getting? I mean, sack the Gix. They have 2 Ugin. Yeah, let's sack the Gix. Go up the chain to 4. Get a Entomber. Actually, Puppeteer? They're going to play Ugin or Spingolos. Yeah, let's take Puppeteer. Get the Puppeteer past the dirt. So a couple days later, hey, what's up, Venimon? How are you? Good to see you. So a couple days later, I was hanging out with Jax, and there's this game. Have you ever heard of Boomerang FU? It's like a Switch game, and you're just these little food characters that run around, and they have boomerangs, and you're supposed to throw boomerangs at each other. But the game's kind of fun. Jax likes this game, so I was like, yeah, I'll play Boomerang. I'll play Boomerang FU with you. Why not? Like, that'll be kind of fun. So I was playing with him and a couple other family members, and Jax is just dying and dying and dying, and he's just like so bad at it. I was like, oh, come be on my team. I'll protect you. It's fine. Like, I'll help you do this. Just come over by me. I won't kill you. I promise. And then I had a bit of a mistake, and I thought that his character was someone else's character. So he comes over to me when I told him, like, oh, I'll be on your team. It'll be fine. We'll do this, and just immediately killed him. Oh my goodness, he lost it. He was so sad. And I felt so bad because I wasn't trying to just wreck my little three-year-old nephew. That wasn't the plan, but that is kind of what ended up happening. So it was a fun week with Jax. Hey, what's double betrayal? Yeah, over the holidays, no less. So yeah, rough weekend for Jax. Otherwise, it was a sweet holiday. What happened to the stream last week? So we streamed on Tuesday last week, and then Thursday I had some holiday commitments, so we couldn't do the second stream, sadly. There's not really any point in it. Is there a point in attacking? They're just gonna kill the Gix. This is bad. Like, our deck is doing cool things. I'm just not sure how these cool things beat Golos spinning. You know what? We are gonna attack here. Let's attack. Then kill the Gix, but we got another one in hand anyway, so we might as well get in. Draw a card. Drop to 11. Hit a Defiler. Get a couple triggers. Pass the turn. This Golo spin needs to be bad. So how was everyone else's holiday? Yeah, it's a good life lesson. The holidays will disappoint you and crush your soul, little Jax. Oh, come on, card off the top. It's also funny, he loves Among Us so much that he tries to play real Among Us, but he's obviously he's 3, so he can like move the controls, but he can't actually do the mission. He's so sus. He's a 3-year-old trying to play Among Us, so he's so incredibly sus. He's just like running into walls and like all this stuff, and so he gets voted out right away, and he gets so angry when he gets voted out. My partner gave me earrings for Christmas. They were so good I almost asked her to marry me. Ooh, could that be in the future? Do you think that's possible, Lucid? That's super sweet. That's such a great Christmas present. I like using Golos to get World Tree. Yeah, I mean, our opponent's got Cascading Cataracts, which essentially is the same shenanigans. So this can get a 5. Our 5 is Defiler, which doesn't do anything. We can't kill this stuff. All right, so I think what we got to do is play this. Play Gix. Podgic. Oh, no, we can't even. Oh, Karn. Oh, yeah, we're super dead. All right, well, yeah, play a Vault Scourge. Yeah, Karn is a brutal card. Karn is so tough. Well, so much for the fun Phyrexian potting. Spent a lot of time with family, ended up with a $130 bottle of rum. Ooh. Me and my partner are going to buy lands instead of a wedding. Seems like a better investment. Like Underground Sea. And get a plateau or a scrubland.
Stand down.
I mean, I don't know if that's oh, jeez. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is so not good for us. Yeah, Karn. Happy fun Karn times. All right, so sack a bunch of stuff. Get back, I guess, a Gix. I mean, our deck is doing cool synergies, but our opponent's just playing Karn in really busted stuff. About it. I mean, that's so many Planeswalkers. I would like to spin the Gix, but I don't think we can get to it. Drain you. Play the land. Play the maybe we should have played the Defiler last turn just to have a flying attacker. That might have been worth considering. If you buy the Taiga, you can play Belcher. Especially if it's a foil Russian Taiga. we have a new donation. One cube, $5 donation. Decided to pay to announce to the world my joy in finishing Falco Spara group hug. Woo! Do you think there's room for another EDH Deck Tech Standard or Explorer stream on YouTube? I mean, I think there's always room. I will say, OneCube, there's a lot of Magic content now. I'm always amazed when I like just check what's going on YouTube. It seems like every week or 2 weeks there's a new creator that I've never heard of before that's making content and making videos. So I think if you enjoy it and you want to make content and that's something you're passionate about, there's always going to be room. Just keep your expectations reasonable, I guess. If the goal is like, I'm going to make a career off of this immediately and like get rich or get famous, that's tough in the current. I mean, that takes as much luck as anything else. So that is maybe not a super realistic expectation, but if you're just super passionate about making content, you can definitely find an audience and have people watch your videos and have a great time doing it. So I would definitely go for it if that's something that you feel passionate about, if you enjoy making Magic content. Deck techs are tricky. I feel like deck techs, my theory on deck techs is, oh, we don't even have any cards to discard. Okay, so we play the land. Opponent has no flyers. So we play the land. We go to combat. We kill the Karn. Oh no! Oh yeah, I guess we had to kill the Karn. We kill the Karn. But now what? Get a worm coil? Can we survive this? Or what we need to do, if we can get rid of Forsaken Monument, which we can't, then Massacre Worm would be sweet. As it is, Massacre Worm doesn't do much. Well, all right. Keep going up the chain, potting our way to not much. All right, Worm Coil Engine, Old Border, and go. I mean, we're not literally dead yet. That's something. My theory on deck techs is that deck techs got killed by streaming. Because a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, if you've been watching the YouTube for a while, you probably remember like instant deck techs. I did a deck tech every day on the YouTube channel. So we were doing like 5 deck techs a week. It was really interesting. At the time, it was actually fairly popular, but I feel, oh boy, oh dear. Oh boy, yeah. Wow, that was brutal. Our deck did cool things though. I feel like deck techs used to have value, but Magic has gotten so big and there's so many streams that they just don't have much value anymore. Because here's the problem that I ran into. So how do you make a deck tech? You see like a cool deck, or someone, you know, does well at a tournament or whatever. You find a deck on the internet and you're like, okay, I'm gonna make a deck tech about this. And then it takes you a day to make the deck tech, and then eventually you post the deck tech. The problem now is if a cool deck comes out, there's like 5 people who are streaming it that same day. So there's just like, there's not really much value, I don't think, in deck techs anymore, unless the one exception would be maybe deck techs for your own brews. Like if you build a really cool, fun, unique deck, or a commander deck that's, you know, around a theme that you really enjoy or something, that I could see. But just like, here's a tournament deck, I'm gonna make a deck tech of it, or here's a tournament deck with a slight twist, I'm gonna make a deck tech of it. I think that's just like, I consider it to mostly be dead content. There's just not much of a market for it anymore, or a reason for it. A deck tech is basically just like a video explaining a deck, essentially. Slicer is scary. Wow, that's the second time Tomer's played it, and that card is so ridiculously scary. I will say, as much as I was a little skeptical of, do we have any? I don't even know what this card does. Until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you, put a -1/-1 counter on it. Target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard on the battlefield under control. Target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library. Oh, that seems not super great against what our opponent is doing. So I guess we just bring in Wow, even our removal doesn't work against this deck. It's go for the throat. All right. Yeah. Fatal Push is bad. Oh, this is... Maybe Liliana. Liliana could be good. Yeah, let's try it like that. The deck tech part of the video has to be short now because attention span is so much more diluted. Oh yeah, I was talking about like standalone deck techs. We're playing against colorless-ish ramp. Basically like Golos, Ugins, Karns. Well, that's not... We have all of our sideboard cards, but no lands. Well, alright, we'll try this. We got the pod, we got the Vault Scourge. Maybe. Let's put Shielder to the bottom, I think. Alright. Well, land. And Inquisition you. In the past, there were deck techs that were just deck techs. So deck techs alongside like gameplay is one thing. Although even that, we've tried to, I still do them. I don't know, what do you think of deck techs with gameplay? I've considered cutting it, but every time I cut the deck techs, I get yelled at in the comments. The deck is $400. Technically, yes, although we're playing it on Arena, so the paper cost doesn't really matter for a historic deck, thankfully. So opponent finds some ramp. Well, let's do some potting. Vault Scourge. Zag the Vault. I think we just get Gix here and try to draw some cards. If we could ever spin a Gix against this deck, it would be so good. Well, get the Gix. Pass the turn. Like, you like the deck techs? So the problem is... Ugh, that's exactly what we were afraid of. So now we can't even really attack. Now let's just entomb Exarch. Duress mode. Yeah, I think we gotta take the Monument. Monument's so good. Pass the turn. The problem is, if you actually look at the like YouTube analytics, so many people just skip the deck tech. It's so funny because whenever I talk to people about it, everyone's like, oh, don't get rid of the deck techs. I love the deck techs. But then if you look at what viewers actually do on YouTube, they don't really... they don't really actually watch the deck techs for the most part. Why is Gix in the deck? It's a Phyrexian. Of course. So I think we just sack the Gix. Because we can get a Puppeteer that can get back Gix anyway. Play the Pyre of Heroes, pass the turn. I mean, the synergies of this deck are super cool. I mean, I think the other thing is, I think deck techs matter for newer players more. Like, I don't think we could ever get rid of deck techs for something like Budget Magic, for example, because I think it's just kind of essential for newer players. So we can get up to a 6-drop. Which is, oh, this is actually pretty good. So sack and Tumor, oh, this turn. How much loyalty is on? 5. All right. Well, sack and Tumor Exarch. Get a Defiler. Sack a Defiler. And it's gonna be a Massacre. Get a Massacre Worm. Out of here, board. Get some triggers. Matter Reshaper. Even more Ugins. The Ugins never end. Well, go to combat. Hit the Ugin. Play the land. Pass the... This deck is doing sweet things, though. Massacre Worm is such a cool card. I like how Phil does it, where he jumps right into the game and explains the cards and combo pieces as they come up. It's probably more editing intensive, but I think it works really well for super silly and janky decks. Oh, dear. Yeah. All right. Happy fun times for everyone. Well, we'll get back a Gex. We'll get a Defiler. Yeah, Ugin is such a ridiculous blowout. I think this is just over now. Yeah, this might be a tough matchup for our deck. Yeah, so I think the thing with like Phil's deck decks, I think part of it is enabled by recording the like recording process of doing the audio. Sure. We Thoughtseized them too. None of these cards were in our opponent's hand. Literally none of them. I think it's much easier if you're recording after the fact. I think I've tried a little bit to be like, oh, is there a way I could do the deck tech during the video? Really hard to do if you're recording live and posting it that way, as opposed to like recording the gameplay and then doing the audio after. Doing the audio after, it's a lot easier to do. Yeah, that Ugin into Ulamog. No overcoming that. Yeah, I mean, if you get enough mana, you can cast some very powerful colorless spells in that deck. We also take Sestile for granted. He does the intro, but he explains the deck as we go along, where most creators don't mention the synergies post-tech. Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought about that. I think a lot of my style of making content is just kind of natural and not actually planned out when it comes to stuff like that. It's just kind of what feels right. All right, let's Phyrexian them. Let's Phyrexian them. Abundant. All right, so Thoughtseize you. Opponent's playing dogs, obviously. Oh, come on. Nisa, Growth Spiral, Essence Scatter. I want to take the Nissa, but that does mean our Gix is going to get countered. Is there a way we can not take... Is there a way we can not take it and play the Gix? Really? You think Growth Spiral? But then they counter our Gix and they still have Nissa. That seems rough. Nemo! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you. Thank you. Is there any realistic way of beating a Nissa? Well, I mean, I think we just got to take the Nissa and hope for the best. Defiler, eh? Well, tap land, you. Yeah, I don't know how we deal with a board full of lands that are creature. Oh. Huh. Okay, well, I guess we get to resolve Gix. Opponent just snaps off the main phase Growth Spiral. Ooh, and that's the Pyrofuros too. All right, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Gix, go. Opponent. Looking at the Gix. Scavenging Ooze. Okay, hit ya. Draw a card. So has anyone brewed any sweet decks lately for any format? We're in this like weird We're in this weird period of time. This is actually annoying, isn't it? Well, we're not gonna pod the Gix yet, I don't think. Has anyone built any cool decks? We're in this weird period of time where we're waiting for the next set to come out, so we haven't really had many new cards. All right, Brazen Borrower. Well, we know our opponent's hand. We have seen every single cards. Zerda's Meticulous Excavation. What is that? That sounds spicy. About it. Gets in, hits us. Passes. Well, play the land, and yeah, I guess we just pass an Urtai. Essence Scatter. Essence Scatter. All right, opponent's gonna run out of Brazen Borrower. Well, let's Urtai. And I think we just gotta kill the ooze here. The ooze is what's kind of ruining all of our shenanigans. Green red enchantment aggro. Ooh, that also sounds sweet. Let me see. Explore Zerda. Meticulous excavation. So 3 mana, bounce a permanent you control to its owner's hand. So wait, what are we bouncing? Oh, so we can cast Mox Amber. So if we have Zerda, this can bounce Mox Amber an infinite number of times with Mox Amber's mana. And then we win with Aetherflux Reservoir. That's super cool. I haven't actually seen that combo before. The opponent draws Anissa anyway. Always annoying when your opponent draws exactly the card that you thought sees. Does this mean we're dead? Looks like. Oh, we can pod, but we're only podding into... We're only potting into another Defiler of Dreams. Well, we will loot away. Loot away the Gix. Play the land. They definitely counter Shieldred. I really, yeah, this is only Urtai in the multiverse. So there's not another Urtai to pot into. I don't think there's anything we can pot into that deals with this. You know, something that would be interesting in this deck that maybe would be worth adding. We're gonna have to look after this match. We'll look at it. Maybe Phyrexian Metamorph is worth it. Yeah, there's no. We have to chump. There's a Nissa. We play this, but then we die in the air. Yeah, we're just gonna die. Yeah, we know our opponent has the counter. Defiler X2 isn't bad. Defiler actually just kind of is horrible in this deck. We talked about it a little bit during the intro. Defiler's really bad, but there just literally is not another option. It just does not exist. Like, is a 5-mana Phyrexian. I think this is one of those decks. Hey, what's up, Lognap? How are you? Good to see you. I think this is one of those decks that should get a lot better once we get Phyrexia LB1. I think that'll go a long ways. We'll just have so many more options. Like, hopefully we don't have to play Defiler of Dreams as a 5-drop, and we'll be able to play something that's actually, like, synergistic with the deck. Start recording gameplay videos. Ooh, do you have any tips for an aspiring content creator? My tip is play what you enjoy. Play what you enjoy, be it formats or decks, whatever, archetypes. Play what you enjoy, and the audience will enjoy it with you. I think that's the biggest thing I see is people fall into this, and it makes sense, but they fall into this line of thinking like, oh, I have to play Arena, or oh, I have to play Standard, or oh, I have to play Commander, because Commander is popular right now. If you love those formats, that's great, and you should play those formats, but if you don't, the audience is going to know that. They're going to know that, and they're not going to be having fun with you. And people want to watch people having fun with things. That's enjoyable. If you're having fun, your audience is going to have fun. So if you're someone who really loves Modern, play Modern. If you really love Legacy, play Legacy, even if those aren't the most popular formats, even if they're not on Magic Arena. So that's always my biggest piece of advice. Like, do it because you love it, and your audience will come along with you and love it too. Also, just be realistic with the expectation. It takes an incredible amount of luck to be able to like make living off of making content. So do it because you enjoy it and for fun, and not out of the expectation that you're gonna get famous or rich off of it. Yeah, I feel like Phyrexian Metamorph might be worth it. I think Helm of the Host wouldn't be a bad addition. What would Helm of the Host do in the deck? Well, I mean, this is not a very Phyrexian hand, or even Poddy hand, but this does have a lot of good cards in it. Yeah, I kind of want to add a Metamorph. We'll look at the Phyrexians. After this game, we'll look at the Phyrexians and see. Well, Inquisition. Come on now. So our opponent's actually just playing every counter spell in existence? Okay. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Including Quench. Oh, good old Quench. Opponent's trying for a Nissa, finds a Nissa, leaves it on top. Well, we will get down to Vault Scourge, start the beats. The Helm clones have mana value the clones, so you can use them as pod fodder. I mean, if you can actually get down and get equipped a Helm of the Host, it is really sweet. It's just very difficult it's often very difficult in non-commander formats to actually get to the point where you have it on the battlefield and on a creature. It would be really fun if we made it happen, though. Is there even any? Not really. Yeah, let's just, I guess we pass. We know there's a handful of counters, so we know. Oh no, and they all Growth Spiral. Opponent. Yeah, we looked at the changelings. None of them seemed very impressive. 5-drop Phyrexians. Sadly, most of these aren't on Arena is the issue we ran into. Something like, what would be the best one if it did exist on Arena? Maybe Plague Lord? Phyrexian Plague Lord would probably be interesting. Oh, Phyrexian Delver would be really good. The reanimation. Yeah, we'll look at what's on Arena in a minute. That's a 7-drop. All right, well, here we come. Get in there, Vault Scourge. 20-turn clock. Got him. Yeah, Plague Lord's kind of a classic. Opponent. Weird list. Those infamous small Japanese tournaments are known. Are known for some weird lists. You could put in the Mishra Meld. Yeah, going into another color. Maybe going into another color could be worth it. Army! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup, thank you. Thank you, opponent. Brazen Borrower. Oh, God. All right. Well, apparently we were just not going to draw land ever. Vault Scourge. Would you like to double quench a Vault Scourge about it? Yo. So ideally we'd like something that can be potted away for value. Hey, what's up, Magikarp? Good to see ya. That would be the downside, I think, of Urboros, because you really want Urboros to sit out. But we'll look at other colors. Maybe going 3 colors is worth it. About it. Gets in with the Borrower. Hits us to 17. Passes. Oh boy, no lands for us. All right, here we go, opponent. Urboros, I think I think Urboros is a sweet card. I think Urboros is underrated. I think it's a good card. Well, trade him off. The opponent passes. Whoa, it's a land. All right, Pyre of Heroes. Opponent. How many of those 7 counters would you like to spend on this Pyre? I'm peer pressuring my friend into building Lurrus EDH Partners. Lurrus Partners EDH. Wait, Lurrus Partners. Growth Spiral for our opponents and Growth Spiral for our opponents. I feel like our opponent might not be playing that many lands for being a Growth Spiral deck. Brazen Borrower. Ooh, all right, we draw another land. This is kind of sweet. So land on blue. Actually, does Liliana even matter? Or would we rather Pyre? Yeah, let's just Pyre again. Play the Pyre, pass the turn. All of our creatures are Phyrexian. Oh, some of them might have an additional type. I'd have to look. I think some of them probably are Phyrexian plus something else. The Secret Lair Stranger Thing partners have a configuration of 4-color where lures can be. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's sweet. I don't think I've seen any Stranger Thing decks. I don't think I've played against any Stranger Thing decks. Well, how about a Liliana about it? We do have a lot of big hitters in hand. I don't know if we'll ever resolve them, but... Opponent. Wow, Sinister Sabotage. I haven't seen that one for a while. Opponent leaves the land on top. Adapts. And plays the land. And Nisa. Well, okay, counter it. Opponent got just a little greedy. Oh, I wish we had a Jin-Gitaxias. New Jin-Gitaxias would be so good here. But... yeah, I mean, you don't get a chance to play Sheoldred and then pass on it. Sheoldred comes down. Can you beat it about it? Oh, I assume they have some flash stuff in their deck, I would guess, like Night Pack Ambusher. Alright, opponent. Very good at drawing Nissas. Proving their Nissa drawing skills. Untaps a land. And... scoops it up. Oh, Sheoldred! OG Sheoldred power. How are the Stranger Things cards in Commander? I think one thing I will say is I guess we want this Inquisition for sure. One thing I will say is the Transformers cards really impressed me. I was actually kind of blown away by just how good they actually played. So that got me thinking that maybe I gotta reevaluate some of these other like old Secret Lair cards. Like, are the Stranger Things ones? You can play the Magic versions now, so you don't have to play the Stranger Things ones if you don't want to. But like, are they fun? I'm starting to think that I gotta give them another shot. Same with like Walking Dead. I would like them to print the Magic versions of Walking Dead at some point, or the Street Fighter Commanders. Like, because the Transformer ones were just such a blast to play with, I kind of wanna give them a try now. Yeah, Shipwreck Marsh, go. What's the sweetest Street Fighter Commander to build around? Opponent land. Well, play the land. Evangel Synthesis. Have you seen any fan-made sets that look fun to play in a vacuum? Spectral Chaos. Does that count as a fan-made set? I've seen a few fan-made sets, mostly when people specifically send them to me. I don't usually go and seek out fan-made sets. Like, custom cards has never been one of my main interests. But there's been a few times that people have said, hey, like, check out this cool set that I made. Some of them look pretty neat. Ooh, Zangief deck. I have a Stranger Things partner commander deck that's mostly just backgrounds and cards that work with your commander, so it's really fun. That does sound really fun. Oh, the one thing I will say about Transformers that I think is a negative is it's awkward that the most iconic characters are probably the most boring designs out of all the Transformers. Like Optimus Prime and what's the main bad guy in Transformers? Megatron? I'm such a bad nerd. Is it Megatron? But either way, like, yeah, Megatron. Yeah, their cards are just like not that interesting. I don't know, like, let me It kind of like cracks me up. Let me see if I can pull him up. Okay, we got him on Scryfall. Yeah, let's just pass and leave up Urtai. About it. Actually, maybe it's better to Evangel. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll pass the turn. But look at these commanders. Look at the Transformers. Some of them are actually pretty interesting. Slicer has been really unique. Blaster kind of has a cool, unique theme. Then you get to the most iconic characters. Optimus Prime Hero, 6 mana, blah blah blah. At the beginning of your end step, bolster 1. Bolster 1. Put a single +1/+1 counter on your creature with a Leaf Toughness. Backside, trample. When it attacks, bolster 2. Oh my goodness. They're just like so boring. They're just so boring. I really like the Transform. I really like the Transformers in general, but that part drives me a little crazy. They're just not like, they're not interesting. I think that's the problem. I think bolsters are just like kind of a not very interesting mechanic. Bolster each turn. I mean, that does up its power, but you're still just bolstering. When some of the other ones have like pretty unique build around mechanics. I think that's like Slicer's really unique. I thought Blaster I got to play was really unique. Even some of the other underpowered ones at least are kind of doing somewhat unique things. Life game theme or vehicle theme. Bolster. I wonder what Bolster is on the Storm Scale. Did you see there was another Storm Scale update today? We should look at that too. We'll take a peek. After this match, we got to look at the deck again, and we got to check the Storm Scale update. Get in with the Evangel. Yeah, let's just Vault Scourge. Kind of like leaving up this Urtai. I feel like our opponent slamming a Nissa is probably the easiest way we lose from here. Opponent. Even more Brazen Borrowers. Okay. Well, I guess just a million Brazen Borrowers is another way we could lose. Do we have to counter this? That's a lot of damage. But then we're tapped out for a potential Nissa. Ooh, donations are rolling in. New donation, Dan Wildfire. $2 donation. Optimus Prime is the only ground-based Jeskai commander that cares about smashing face. All other Jeskai legendaries are flying or spellslinger. Okay. That's a good argument, Doug. I will buy that. I do like commanders that bring play styles into new colors. So if the argument for Optimus Prime being unique is it's like a Jeskai beatdown commander and we haven't had that before, that's actually a pretty good argument. I will it still bolsters though. I'll take it halfway back. But it's still bolster, but yeah, I think we actually sadly have to counter this. It's just too much damage. I guess if they do play Nissas here, then we can Urtai the Nissa. It's not great, but it's what we gotta do. Uh-oh. Oh, they have the Nissa. Opponent manually taps, gives up, taps all their forests anyway. And we have another new donation from Lucid, $5 donation. I have a crazy Christmas story. A popular local country band sings kooky Christmas songs every year with audience involvement. I went and volunteered for a marshmallow eating contest. It turns out I almost died in front of 800 people from choking in marshmallows. Were they singing a kooky Christmas song as you choked on the marshmallows? That is, I will say, Lucid, I'm sorry you almost died, obviously. Although that is a great holiday story. I think you will get some value out of that for a long time. Every holiday season for the rest of your life, you can tell the The story of how you almost died choking on marshmallows in front of 800 people. Yeah, that probably would have made. I mean, do you remember the Darwin Awards? I don't know if that's quite Darwin Award worthy, but yeah, funniest ways to die or something. Oh, well, I'm glad you're okay, Lucid. Cat ate the banana happy. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. This is an aggressive attack. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do some blocking. This is like a really aggressive attack. We got Brazen Bar, number 3. Okay, another, jeez. Another Nightpack Ambusher. We draw another land. Not good, not good. Not good, not good. Well, okay, play the Puppeteer. Pass the turn. Not feeling super good about where we're at. I still desperately want to green right Bramble Sovereign Legendary. Ooh, Bramble Sovereign it's basically a Panharmonicon. I would also like more of those. Castle Lockway. How do we beat an ambusher, though? Not by drawing a land. Well, Evangel of Synthesis. Loot. Gain a bit of life. Entomb or Exarch. Get back. I mean, we're fighting the good fight. We're fighting the good fight through the Nisses and the double Nightpack Ambusher in a row off the top of the deck. Get back Urtai. Pass the turn. Hey Seth, unfortunately can't watch today. We'll catch the replay. Hey, Jermicello, hopefully all is well for you. Good to see you for a second. Now this is from one of our infamous small Japanese tournaments. Nightpack Ambusher was a sweet standard card, although some of the decks that it was played in were kind of annoying to play against. They were the decks that would wreck all the cool against the odds decks. Well, block, block, block. They're going to play another Nightpack Ambusher, aren't they? Block, block, block? Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. Because then if this dies, the wolf token will die too. Okay. Okay, this works. This works. And then we get to get back Vault Scourge. Get a little life gain going on. They scried something to the top, though. Opponent. That is true. Small Japanese tournaments really do. Ooh. Scoos. The Japanese meta is so, and maybe it's just the tournaments that get published, but the Japanese meta seems like it'd be so much fun compared to the North American meta. All right, opponent is officially out of Magic the Gathering cards. Are we going to overcome this? Is there a chance the Phyrexians are getting there? Oh, if only we could find, yeah, Pyre Heroes would be a great draw here. Opponent oozing off. Atwara's kind of interesting. So our graveyard's been emptied. Go to combat. Maybe we just pass? Yeah, let's just pass. See what our opponent does. We would like to double block the temple if they attack. Atwara does kill the land creature, that's true. Also resets the ooze. Although I guess they can just grow it again. We'll see. We'll see what our opponent does. I guess, like, bounce a land creature or tie the ooze would be fine-ish. Opponent gets in with the ooze. Yeah, let's bounce the ooze. Urtine and then bounce it. That might have been even better. Maybe it would have been better to do it that way. Well, let's draw down to 2. No fear. No fear in Phyrexianville. Kazalakwane. Okay, Gurgling Anointer. I'll play the Anointer. A little bit worse now that our graveyard is empty, but... Pass the turn. This Scavenging Ooze is going off. Going off. Yes, it ended up being really close. Unfortunately, we're at 2 and our opponent's at infinite. But other than that, opponent leaves one on top. Untaps, does not grow the ooze. Goes to combat. Swings with both. Huh, okay. Well, block, block, block. Opponent. Brazen Borrower number 3. Are we dead? What do we do about this? I got sponsored to build a hidden commander deck. Ooh, that sounds super cool, Doug. What is it for, the sponsorship thing? Okay, I guess that works. And then opponent. I'm gonna eat something. Well, we will Urtai. Oh, jeez. Okay, opponent has an Essence Scatter. Oh, we draw another useless land. Well, play the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, play the Vault Scourge. I mean, I guess we're not technically... Actually, we are technically dead. Yeah, because they can play this Brazen Borrower. Oh, Phyrexia. I'm starting to think that maybe Phyrexia won't be as good as I thought. maybe it's a bust. Maybe it's a bust. Paradox Haze. Paradox Haze is such a unique card. That looks sweet, Doug. I like it. Yeah, Paradox Haze is just so cool. I don't know why it's not popping up here for some reason. But it is definitely sweet. Being able to get an additional upkeep. It's upkeep a Monicon, essentially. Really. So okay. Is there anything we can do to make this deck function? Yeah, Psychosis Crawler I don't think is better than... Sadly, I don't think Psychosis Crawler is better than the Defiler. The Defiler is bad, but I think the Psychosis Crawler is even worse. At least we can always cast it. Let me see a Psychosis Crawler here. Psychosis Crawler is dependent on cards, right? Where is... Oh. Maybe I don't have any yet. Let's look at Psychosis Crawler. Is there any argument? Is there any argument for it? Is there an argument to going another color? Yeah, it's power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. I think it is a 5-drop, but I think it would just be worse than Defiler, essentially. Because if we have no cards in our hand, it just dies, right? And it's not like we're really built around it. The new Hellish Shorn is a Panharmonicon. It's like the best Panharmonicon. The deck is not functional. I don't know about that. That last game was really close. It's unfortunate that we top deck lands and our opponent top decked double Night Pack Ambusher and the third Brazen Borrower, but it was, I feel like it was pretty close. There are a few changelings, but they're not. But I'm not sure any of them actually do much for what our deck's trying to do. I mean, I guess the green probably has the best changelings. There's none that are, I mean, I guess if you go into green, there's a 5-mana 1 Webweaver changeling, which I guess wouldn't be bad if you got 3 creatures in the graveyard to gain some life. That's not the worst. Glasspool Mimic. There's also Phyrexian Metamorph. Glasspool Mimic itself is not Phyrexian. So it doesn't actually work with the pod. We could just play it for value, but we wouldn't be able to pod into it. Phyrexian Metamorph we could pod into. Actually, Blade Splicer seems. So you Blade Splicer, get it off the pod, get a goblin, sack it. That seems like the kind of card that would be very good in this deck. Maybe Esper? Master Splicer would be okay too. Phyrexian Metamorph seems fine. Would Weatherlight Complete be a good win condition? Maybe. I don't know if we can get creatures to die consistently enough to really make it work. So we need what? Four creatures to die to turn it into a creature, and 7 to actually start drawing cards with it. We're sacrificing a lot. I mean, we're sacrificing a lot if we draw Pyre. But the rest, it's not like really, I don't know. Not like a full sack deck, because that's like the only card that sacks. So in the games where we have Pyre, I think that it could be interesting. Going into red gives Mishra. Ooh, let me see some Zangief action. Think it's worth it just for the scry? That could be true. So Esper would also Ellis Core, Aaron, I guess. Grixis, you could have Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Phyrexian Dragon Engine doesn't seem that bad. Just because you can unearth it. And its unearth ability is actually pretty good. Disciples of Gix. Search for 3 artifacts, put them in your graveyard. Carnifex Demon. The top end I don't think is really an issue. Phyrexian Gargantuan seems like the perfect kind of pod card. Comes in, draws some cards, sack it, move on to something else. There are some good targets for the bot. Like, there's some synergistic stuff. It feels like just need another couple cards. Maybe the solution is to just improve the non-Phyrexian part of the deck. Like, maybe more Thought Seizes or something. Maybe that's the direction to go. Just try to make the deck better while we're waiting to do cool pod things. Rager does seem good. Hey, what's up, Jiva Django? How are you? I mean, we could also try another deck. It would be sweet if Phyrexians work, though. I don't know about Gix. Gix has been very hit or miss. I wonder, maybe we play 1 Gix. That's the other thing. With a pod, and bring in a Phyrexian Rager, with a pod, we're kind of incentivized to play as many one-ofs as possible. So, like, do we even want 2 Shieldrids? Do we need all the Vault? Is Vault Scourge even that good? Should we be playing... Ooh, Phyrexian Reclamation. The name is good. Wait, what does this do? When it dies or goes to your graveyard from your hand, conjure a card named Gixian Recycler into your graveyard. That seems pointless. Actually, well, I guess you could get it back with Gurgling Anointer or something, but yeah, that doesn't actually seem that good. Blight Pile, Infiltrator. When you sack a permanent, get a counter. Ooh, what about? Oh, no, not that thing. Oh, we gotta win a match with it, right? At least. Enters the battlefield tapped. 2, perpetually gets -1/-1, then return to the battlefield. Activate it only if its toughness is 2 or greater. So you get to do it once? I mean, stuff like this lets us pod twice. But I don't know if the problem is, like, is the issue that the deck's not good enough when we have pod? Or is the issue that if we don't have pod, life is sad? What about more Flesh Gorgers? That's very flexible. It's a 3 that we can pod, and it's a 7 that we can pod into. So should we add another color? Is that the plan? Yeah, if we don't, that is true. If we don't have a pod, the deck really does struggle. I mean, maybe we gotta play the 4th Pyre. Maybe that's a good starting point, at least. That will increase our odds of having a pod. I kind of want a Jin-Gitaxias. The other thing is, we've played some of our big finishers, and they haven't always just won us the game. So maybe we do need better finishers. Yeah, there's one of the prototypes. Massacre Worm, Wormcoil, Shieldred. Is Big Shieldred even good? Meld Mishra. Yeah, going into red for Mishra is kind of interesting. We would have to rebuild the mana base. We could pot it up, though, which is cute. Splashing green for Neoform. Ooh. Could you squeeze an Obliterator? I don't think we can make the mana work. I think that would be the issue with Obliterator. Mono black Phyrexia Pod. Ooh. Mono black Devotion Phyrexian Pod. That's an intriguing idea. I don't know if we have enough black mana symbols. Phyrexians are not especially black heavy, but I like that idea, because that's another way we could just cast our big finishers. That is an intriguing plan. Phyrexian Arena. That is technically a Phyrexian card. And then we could also try this Defiler. Huh. I mean, I feel like there's... Okay, let's... a Valve Sleeper. The only thing with a Valve Sleeper is... Oh, this means we need red mana. Do we want to rebuild the mana base? Is it worth the effort to rebuild the mana base? And it pods into Obliterator. You might have sold me. You might have sold me on trying to go Devotion. Should we try Devotion? Maybe that's the... Okay, let's... The mana will be good. You know what? Okay, let's do it this way. We're just gonna build it. We're just gonna build it. We're gonna build Mono Black Phyrexian Pod Devotion. I think we can just build it. I think this deck will be sweet. Or it could be sweet. There's potential. There's potential here. Okay, so... What is the plan? Give me your ideas, chat. Phyrexian. Mono Black Phyrexian Devotion. So So what are cards we know we want? I have no dad. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. So we want Gix. We might want a Phyrexian Arena. Defiler is actually kind of intriguing, at least in some numbers. And that gets us to Obliterator that has a lot of black mana symbols. We got Gitaxian Puppeteer. We got Shieldred. We can play a lot of one-ofs because we're... Ooh, are we going to be missing spots on the curve, though? What do we do for 5-drops? What do we do for 5-drops? That's the issue. That is the issue. Do we have no, we're still potting. Are we gonna not have any 5-drops? That's very awkward. 5-mana dragon. We prefer a black card if possible. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could just play, but then it breaks the pod chain. We could play Gary, but then it does break it. Aw. I mean, I guess we can still Vault Scourge. It does have a black mana symbol. We're gonna need another 2-drop of some kind. What does this do? Becomes a human cleric with lifelink. Becomes a Phyrexian. Oh, okay. Becomes a... Becomes the bad version of Obliterator. A Valve Sleeper? But we have to be Phyrexian for it to work. There is a Black Defiler. We got a couple of them, which I think should be decent. We really need another 2-drop. Like the early game's going to be the concern. We might still play one Worm Coil. That's kind of the awkwardness of throwing in these colorless cards. Rager's fine, but it's another 3. Splash for Meld in Black Changelings. We can see what Changelings have to offer. Changeling Outcast, Venomous Changeling. Gravesifter is like, okay. This 5-drop problem is an issue. I think like a couple of copies of Sleeper is probably good enough. I guess it's... Oh boy. I mean, I guess we're going all the way down the line to Psychosis Crawler, which is something I was hoping to avoid, but we might have to play Psychosis Crawler just out of necessity. Yeah, it's like literally the only option. Are we gonna have enough black mana symbols? So the problem with Faceless Agent, I think it would be good, but it's another colorless card. If we're gonna be trying to nick those, we really need to make sure we have the mana symbols or it's not going to be worth it. Splatter Goblin. I do kind of like Exarch, although this spot in our curve is already so full. Should we be playing Gray Merchant? When it dies, creature target opponent controls. There are a decent amount of elves in this format. I could see playing a couple of those, and then maybe just like Thoughtseize and Fatal Push? I don't know. Did we improve this deck? Is this deck better now than it was before? I'm not 100% sure. But it might be. It could be. It's possible. Oh... Isn't Coffers really slow? Oh, it's not Coffers. What's it called? Cabal Stronghold. 3-tap. Make a mana for each basic swamp you control. So you need what? 4 swamps to break even. 5 to make a mana? I mean, I guess if we played Cabal Stronghold, then we could play more colorless stuff and not be worried about it. What would we cut for more sleepers? I mean, I think we play Nykthos, but just... Play Nykthos, but know that sometimes it's not going to be that great, I think. Add Maskwood Nexus to fill the curve with good higher drops and meld. Ooh, so play non-Phyrexian Phyrexians. that would be spicy. Warlock class. I do like Warlock class in Devotion. Is there... Yeah, we'll double check the Phyrexians one more time. I don't think there's an 8-drop. Let's make a sideboard real quick. You could cut one Rager and a Scourge for 2 more Sleepers because Sleeper is a good early play. That could be worth considering. What else do we want on our sideboard? Man, Invoke Despair is good. Thought Distortion, I don't know if it's actually worth it, but I hate getting wrecked by the Teferi control deck. I play one copy probably way more than I should, just because I really dislike losing to that card in specific. Graveyard. Yeah, probably Leyline then. Leyline works really well with Nykthos. There isn't a Gray Merchant. We're trying to be a Phyrexian deck, so there's no Gray Merchant. Ooh, the Mia could be worth it in the main deck, actually. Maybe that's just... Let's go down one Splatter Goblin. Go up a Meat Hook. A Valve Sleeper. How do we... I mean, I guess we have a lot of 3s. Maybe we don't Phyrexian Arena and go a Sleeper. And go like one Obliterator for a Sleeper. I kind of want one Gurgling Anointer. Maybe we go one Flesh Gorger. And then, is there an 8-drop? And Maskwood Nexus to fill the curve with good high drops and meld. Yeah, I think that would probably be a whole nother build. It sounds like a fun idea, though. I think that's definitely a fun idea. Although, you know, let's Aghanim's Awakening. Although then I think we'd be kind of starting from scratch, if that was our plan. Maskwood Nexus Neoform. You look like young Dumbledore, also a wizard. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Hey, what's up, Stone Raid? How are you? Good to see you. Okay, let's try the mono black version. We'll try it. If this doesn't work, then we figure we just gotta wait until Phyrexia comes out, and then we'll be good. Well, remember, our goal is to be a Phyrexian Birthing Pod deck. So we need all of our creatures to be Birthing Pod, or to be Phyrexian, so we can use them with Pyre of Heroes. So that's why a lot of the stuff that you might play in a typical Devotion deck, that you might play in a typical Devotion deck is not in this deck. It's just purely for that reason. Opponent. Fought Seas. Ooh, Luris. Yeah, Malakar could play a Malakar Rebirth. I do love the MDFCs. Yeah. Yes, Curve's not horrible. Wow, they take the Massacre Worm? Alright, Schwamp you. No sideboard, Seth. What? Yeah, we got a sideboard. I believe. I think we do. What if this goes all the way and someone calls you out on that? No, we got a sideboard, don't we? I remember building one. Can you update the deck list? Remind me after this game. I'll have to export it. But yes, we should be able to do that. Well, let's play a Flesh Gorger. So far, we're not doing much. Sultai Phyrexian Neoform. So Neoform is another... The thing is, with Neoform, I think it's really good if you have a card that can win the game. Is it really worth it to, like, Neoform just to turn a Flesh Gorger into a whatever, Gixen Puppeteer or something? That's, I think, the question. I think Neoform really, really good for combo style decks. Not sure how good it would be in... This isn't one format where Lurrus is still legal for some reason. Not sure how good it would be just as a value play. I don't think I've really ever seen anyone play it outside of combos. So yeah, I don't know. It could be fun to try, but I would imagine it wouldn't be really good just because we don't have anything that impactful to tutor up with it. Opponent. Yeah, Defiler could be a good one for the ramping purposes. All right, so there goes the Flesh Gorger. Sure. Well, play a land, play a Splatter Goblin. Play a Gix, pass the turn. Handful of not much at the moment. I think the problem with this deck is if we don't have Pod, it's got Splatter Goblins. When we have Pod, it all makes sense. When we don't have Pod, it's a little different. Ooh. That is a sweet draw, though. Yeah, let's just kill the Lurrus. Hopefully our opponent does not have Fatal Push, because I would really like to draw some cards here. Opponent does have Fatal Push. All right, life is sad. Hit you with this. We're playing Splatter Goblin. Oh, yeah, we're playing. That is a Splatter Goblin. Oh, what if we be... Hey, it's a Pod, finally. If they Splatter a Goblin, I swear. Opponent. Okay. Well, Pod with no creatures. Go. It'll be good eventually. Yeah, maybe a tutor would be worth it. Opponent gonna get back. This doesn't make much sense, though, because we have a handful of Fatal Pushes that our opponent knows about. Opponent, Stitcher Supplier, the Great Destroyer. Came by 2, saw you were offline, so I thought you were streaming today. No, Twitch just was not working at that time. I don't know what went wrong with Twitch, but it was down everywhere. So got off to a little bit of a late start, but eventually Twitch started working. Come on, creature. Come on, deck. Not that one. Not our most expensive creature. But welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chip here. Thank you. How about it? Yeah, no, it was down for everyone. Phyrexian Shockmere. Yeah, that could be good with the Pod. Not good with Nykthos. Maybe the deck's just... Maybe we're going too many directions. Like, trying to support Devotion while also trying to... So we're going to pod this into a 2-drop that isn't very good. Is that even worth it? Maybe we try to level it up. That's probably... Leveling it up is probably better if we can draw a card off of it. About it. I mean, all we need is Aghanim's Awakening and 10 mana. And our Shieldred returns. About it. Stitcher Supplier gets in. Sure. Yeah, I couldn't log in or anything. It was really messed up. I've been playing this, I've been playing this weird artifact combo deck in Standard. Had some success with it. Mythic. Slagstone Refinery is surprisingly good. Ooh. Wow, that is a wild looking deck, Halfling Sting. That looks super spicy. Combat Courier Mira. Paragon Strongball. Sack an artifact is +1/+0 damage to opponent. I mean, I do like Dragonspark Reactor. Every time I play Dragonspark Reactor, it seems like it performs way better than I expect it to. Well, let's level up. I feel like this is all just leading to a removal spell, but we'll see. Level up. Opponent. Oh my god, triple fatal push. Okay. Alright. Opponent, all the fatal pushes. We draw another Valve Sleeper. We get to try it again. Let's run it back. Hey, what's up, Affinity to Squirtle? How are you? Good to see you. I'm doing well. Phyrexia is not doing that well, but otherwise, I'm doing well. having fun losing with Phyrexians. We're so close. We're so close to doing cool things. Well, yeah, I've never seen that card before. Slagstone Refinery is intriguing. Whoa, we ran him out of removal finally. We finally ran him out. All right, draw a card, thank you. Ooh, that's an obliterator. You know what? We're just gonna draw another card, thank you. And okay, things are looking up. Past the turn. We're finally gonna start potting. It's happening. No, this is... No. We're playing Phyrexian Tribal, not the set Phyrexia. We're playing a all Phyrexian. Oh, come on. An all Phyrexian Tribal Birthing Pod deck. Krusty back. Welcome to the Fishbowl. You got a sack outlet too. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. About it. Thinking. Counting. Huh? Wait, you can downgrade this? No! No, you can... It can unevolve? I didn't know that was possible. They just turned it back into a cleric. Well, good play, opponent. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. All right, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, respect, opponent. All right. Now let's play Vault Scourge. Let's sack the Vault Scourge. Sag the Vault Scourge, get a 3-drop, which will be Phyrexian Rager to draw a card. And Nykthos number 2. Meat Hook Massacre X1. Kill your Stitcher suppliers. Opponent gets to mill probably an infinite number of cards here. Mill him. We're going to pass the turn. Worried about haste. Opponent adapts. Can you do anything with Chaotic Transformation in Power Stones and Crummy tokens to pop out prototypes? I feel like Chaotic Transformation has some untapped potential. I think there are ways. We've played it a little bit, but I think there are ways to build around it. We have not talked about the Storm Scale yet. That's on the list. We got distracted by ooh, Young Pizzy, eh? We got distracted by building this Phyrexian deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they scoop it up. Phyrexia OP, but we will look at it. I promise we'll look at it. That was actually kind of impressive. I don't know how. I don't know how we got there. I don't know why we got there, but that was actually pretty good for the deck. Okay, maybe Phyrexia is good. Have you seen what Rusko is doing to Historic Brawl? Rusko. I don't know what a Rusko is. What is Rusko? No, I guess yep, Splatter Goblin that was a Splatter Goblin game. We splattered him. Splatter Goblin, the art on this card's so good because it looks like it's just really enjoying the fact that it's about to splatter from the sky to the earth. It looks so happy. Wait, what is Rusko? When Rusko enters the battlefield, conjure a card named Midnight Clock to the battlefield. When you cast a non-creature spell, put an hour counter on each permanent you hold Midnight Clock. Each opponent loses life, you gain 2 life. So what? So how is it destroying Historic Brawl? Or what is it doing in Historic Brawl? I actually, now that you say the name, someone tweeted about it earlier today. So I did see that, but I wasn't exactly sure what the issue was or what it was about. So I'm curious. Yeah, we'll go down the Thought Seizes. That's fine. Run it like that. It's very broken. I mean, it's an alchemy card. Displacer Kitten. That makes sense. Yeah, I will say the matchmaking system is a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy, a little questionable. The thing is, like, how do you know when there's a new commander? How do you know what the next Golos is going to be? How does Wizards know that going into it? So you end up with some pretty push commanders that end up in the, like, safe commander bucket instead of the broken commander bucket. And then it leads to unfun, and there's no transparency. I actually really honestly dislike that setup at this point. I thought it was going to be an okay idea at the time. Like, oh, let the Golos players play against each other, and everyone else won't have to play against it. But the more that system is played out, I've started to dislike that system. I feel like bannings would just be better. Like, they did it so they could unban Golos. And I just don't know what the upside is. Like, why? What is the point of trying to unban the broken commanders? What's the upside? And I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know what it is. But you can't. Oh, so your advice would be just to scoop. I will also say, one of my frustrations with Historic Brawl, and this is probably hypocritical coming from me, but you do have a lot of people that just scoop on like turn 1. That's something that comes up kind of often, where it'll be I don't know, your opponent doesn't like the basic that you played or something, and they just scoop on like the first turn of the game. Wow, takes the Obliterator. That's risky. 1, 2, 3. Well, I mean, playing the land, go attacking. I feel like this Massacre Worm really ruins our opponent's day if we can get it down. Opponent land. Do you have even more discard? Opponent hits us. Can we draw land and ruin our opponent's hopes and dreams? Yes. All right. GG. It's gonna be a massacre coming down. Getting the Young Pyromancer, getting the token. About it down to 10. And, oh no, they don't die. That's right. Non-bow. Well, we still wrath their board, but our opponent didn't actually lose life because of our ley line. And opponent scoops it up. One time an opponent conceded because I attacked with a killed a goose. You gotta send the goose message. So how do you think that how should they handle it? I mean, obviously, AC Elusive, thanks for bringing it out. Obviously, they can be careful about what they're printing. And I don't know if you watched the year-end video I did, just talking about like the year in Magic. So actually, I think that the Massacre Worm correctly triggered with the token. Actually, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I actually don't know. Separate Alchemy from Historic Brawl. I mean, that's the same thing people have said about Historic, right? Isn't that the same thing, the biggest piece of feedback? Like, let Alchemy exist, just don't have it be part of Historic. The thing, I don't even think they need to have... I would also kind of like to see a rank queue. I don't even think they need to have Alchemy be part of Historic. I don't think they have to. Like, here's the thing, like... There's enough cards from non-Alchemy sets that Historic would still feel very different than Explorer, even if it didn't have Alchemy cards. All right, deck list updating. So I wish they would do that. But that's something we've talked about for a long time, and it hasn't happened. So I don't have very high hopes that it actually is going to happen. But that would be a good solution. Alchemy cards will eventually rotate, though, so people need somewhere to play those cards. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. That is true. Although, like, how many of your standard cards do you actually get to play in Modern or whatever? The number's pretty low. Even in Pioneer, like, it's better. There's a higher chance that some of your standard stuff will make it there. But even then, a lot of those cards won't be playable. The Alchemy cards are just they're so forced. It's kind of, my opinion on the Alchemy cards is changing a little bit. I'm starting to view them more and more like Modern Horizons cards, which I think is not any better, really. In some ways, it's worse. It's like these really busted cards that are designed specifically to be busted. So that's been something I've been kind of like coming around to, where my dislike of it is less about them being digital only and more about just their power level. It seems like every time there's a new Alchemy set, there's something that's just like straight up busted that gets released. And then if you actually look at, this happens in Historic to a lesser extent, but if you actually look at Alchemy the format, it is just like every 3 months a new ridiculous, often built around perpetually combo deck that came out during the latest Alchemy release, and then that process repeats itself and they do it again and again and again. Corneas, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. But I don't know what the solution is. Like, I don't begrudge. Hey, thanks, Corneas. You keep being amazing as well. Like, I'm okay with Alchemy existing for the players who want it. If there's some players out there, and apparently there are dozens of them, who really love Alchemy, that's fine. Like, it's not like you have to delete Alchemy from Arena, but you could delete it from Historic. That would also be fine. Well, let's ult grid, and yeah, I guess we do some flesh gorging. Gorge a little flesh. I will say, so another issue that I have, and this is gonna sound really off base, I think. But another issue that I have with Alchemy is I feel like it didn't go far enough. And that probably sounds like the exact opposite of Alchemy not existing, but I don't think it is. So yes, I think it'd be better if Alchemy wasn't a thing, especially a thing that was impacting Historic and Historic Brawl. But if you're gonna have Alchemy be a thing, I think you really just run wild with it. And this is because over the holidays, I played a little bit of Hearthstone for the first time in a while, and I was just like, I don't want to say impressed, but I guess maybe it was being impressed, but it's just like so ridiculous. The stuff that goes on, it's like, here's these random cards that are flying in here and there, and this random stuff appears here. I feel like Alchemy gives all the downside of that, where it's like not quote unquote real magic. It doesn't exist in paper. It's not well balanced. You get all the downsides of Hearthstone, but you don't get cast 20 mana value worth of random mage spells at your opponents, and these just like super ridiculous, over the top epic effects that you get in Hearthstone. So I feel like we get all the downside and very little of the cool parts of, oh my goodness. Oh boy. Meatball Massacre is going to be pretty decent here. I don't even know if we want to attack. Play the land. Meatball. X4. Oh, what a blowout. Meatball X4. Sheoldred lives. The rest of the world does not. Opponent down to 11. So yeah, so I think that would be, if there was like like the Magic version would be something like this, like cast 20 mana value worth of red spells targeting random things. Would I want that to exist in Standard or in Modern? No, it was just such high variance, and who knows, it's probably a horrible thing. But that's the kind of stuff. I do have the Phyrexian Basic Swamp. Unfortunately, it's very I didn't take the time to put it in, but I probably should. So yeah, I feel like that would be the way to go. And that would make me more interested in alchemy, actually. If alchemy had effects like that, would it become my favorite format that I played all the time? I don't think so. But would it be something I would check out if there was a card that was cast 20 mana value worth of red spells at random targets? I would, just because it would be epic. That would be an epic like stream or an epic against the odds episode. So I wish that would be the way forward that I would like. Split it off from historic and historic brawl. And then just run wild with it. Run wild with it and have those absolutely over the top ridiculous effects. Don't make it a competitive format. Stop doing the like this set of qualifiers is for alchemy or whatever, because that's not what it would be designed for. But it would be a digital only ridiculous over the top format for players who want to experience that. I think that would actually save alchemy. I think that would save it. I think it would save it. Historic Brawl would be better without Wash Away, Dark Ritual, and Paradox Engine, and Roscoe combines the 3 cards. I'm actually always surprised. First, okay, let's make mana with Nykthos. I'm actually always surprised when I play Historic Brawl and realize that Paradox Engine is legal, because it doesn't seem like it should be. All right, kill the Resplendent Angel. Bishop triggers, sure. Make Nykthos mana. Draw a card with Castle Lockwood. Play Gixen Puppeteer. Hit you with Sheoldred. And Phyrexians actually look... Wow, maybe we broke it. Maybe we broke it here. They explicitly stated they... Really? People have asked them about it and they explicitly said that they wouldn't ban it? Why? We broke pod, but... No, we got the pods. We got the pods. We just didn't draw them that game, but the pods are still here. The pods are still here, and the Phyrexians are actually looking up. Splatter Goblin, undefeated champion of the format. We'll bring in a little more removal. What do we go down, though? Probably a bad Massacre Worm matchup. Just doesn't seem like it kills much. Maybe we go down 1 Sleeper. Go down a couple of Thought Seizes, run it like that. The goal, I think, is to get Commander players on Arena, so they guarantee the ban cards from Commander C play. But Commander players, do they want to play with Paradox Engine? Like, it's banned in Commander. I'm surprised they don't rebalance him into Conjuring the Clock into your deck instead of Conjuring to the field. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. They can always rebalance it. And they probably will, although we haven't really seen... Have we seen examples of... Oh, I believe you, Alias Babylon. I just didn't know that was a... I hadn't heard that before, but I definitely believe you. It's funny how controversial Paradox Engine banning is. To me, Paradox Engine, when they announced that ban, I had no second thoughts. I was fully on board that card's busted and should be banned. I'm surprised how many people felt the other way, though. It seems like an actual meaningful number of people still to this day are against that ban in specific. Ooh, double Abiding Grace, Resplendent Angel, Heliod. Well, I mean, I guess we just take Heliod and go from there. About it. So this Alchemy release, it's Historic Brawl is the format that got most wrecked. It's kind of funny. It's usually Alchemy itself. Here's a link for WotC on Paradox Engine. Oh, they did not only address it, but write a big thing about it. It comes up every now and then, so we don't mind checking in on the subject. We currently have no plans to ban Paradox Engine in Historic Brawl. It's banned in Commander, a format that shares a lot with Historic Brawl, but the primary reason for the banning doesn't carry over. The primary reason for the ban were, 1, Commander decks play a high density of mana rocks as a baseline due to the elements of the format. This means that having enough of them to untap with the engine wasn't really a deck building cost. Everyone is doing this already. Historic Brawl has lower life totals and more aggression in general, so the cards are not really prevalent or required. I don't know if I agree with that. Do you play mana rocks in Historic Brawl? I usually build my Historic Brawl decks very similarly to my Commander decks. So for me, Paradox Engine's still pretty easy to slot into most of my decks. I'll keep going. Hang on, we gotta also kill our opponent here real quick, but we will keep going. Okay, so first off, mana rocks. Not as many mana rocks. Argument 1. It's an intentional choice for players to build a deck that can take advantage of the engine. 2, when a commander player starts comboing off, they're up to 3 other people. They're taking up 3 other people's time, who are all under social pressure to stick around even if they're not enjoying themselves. The net of that exchange is pretty negative. In Historic Brawl, the different game structure means an engine player can have their fun in a more equitable manner. If you're tired of your opponent, well, that's why we have CR 104.3a, which, does that mean you can scoop? Is that what that's saying? I'm imagining that that's the rule stating that you can concede at any time, but I don't actually know the rule book well enough to say that for sure. Okay, so basically, if your opponent starts playing it, then just scoop. Historic Brawl's matchmaking also allows for a bit more control over who plays against powerful hard combo decks. It's certainly not perfect, but it's one more piece of the puzzle, and all of this together is enough to currently land on no action. Banning, especially in a casual format like Historic Brawl, are really a last resort, and we want to lean towards allowance as much as practical. Cards get banned, but it's more often for exploiting the game mode, like Field of the Dead, where Paradox Engine is actually better off for how this mode... Where Paradox Engine is actually better off for how this... Oh, wait, what are we doing? Okay, hang on. I will finish reading that, I promise. Defiler. Vault Scourge. Target the Flesh Gorger. Cards do get banned, but it's more often for exploiting the game mode, like Field of the Dead. How did that exploit the game mode? Where Paradox Engine is actually better off for how this mode works. This is not to say it'll never happen, but I personally want to hear more compelling reasons than I have so far. That was a... How is Field of Dead exploiting the game mode? I have come away from that comment more confused than enlightened. I don't think that solved my concerns. Yeah, I really, that last part really gets me. Field that exploits the game mode because you already run singleton lands. Yeah, but doesn't Paradox actually exploit the game mode because you already run mana rocks? Isn't that like contradictory? Well, I mean, I guess it depends on... I guess I haven't seen enough Historic Brawl decks. Maybe not everyone builds their Historic Brawl decks like I do, because I just throw in a bunch of mana rocks and play it like Commander. And I try to ramp into my big, things and whatever. I guess you do run into people who are like, I'm playing Goblin Tribal and I'm playing 0 mana rocks. But I also run into a lot of people who are also playing it like Commander. I mean, I will say, I don't have any hugely strong feelings about Paradox Engine in Historic Brawl. I run into it every once in a while. If I played against it a lot, then it would be something I would care about more. But I feel like I just don't play against it that often. But again, maybe it's like the matchmaking, and maybe I'm just like not playing the right commanders to get matched against Paradox Engine decks. Can we play Decathlon? Ooh. Decathlon. What is Welcome to Decathlon. Come test your abilities for a variety of game modes for Arena Glory. Event 1 is Jump In. Choose 2 packets of their own themes. Combine them into a deck. If you can jump all the way to max wins, you will earn this event's special token. Collect 3 tokens from 3 different events to qualify for the finals. Wait, so the options are jump in, and then you qualify for a finals tournament? That is kind of a neat sleeve. Yeah, I don't know. We gotta look at the storm scale. We do. I don't know if I want to play jump in. Jump in is really fun. Pauper is the evil virus of Stan. Is it that bad? Is Pauper standard Pauper, or is it like historic Pauper? Can you play anything that's on Arena that's a common? One land. Yeah, we're gonna ship that one. Ooh, one land again. Okay, we're gonna keep this one. Very much against my better judgment, and we will probably regret it, but I mean, if jump in's something y'all are interested in, we can try it at some point. I remember when Jumpstart first came. Oh dear. I remember when Jumpstart first came out. We did a Jumpstart stream, and we lasted like 3 rounds or something before we're like, this is a little bit played out. Not that it was bad and it was fun to play, but it didn't, from what I remember, make for the best viewing experience. What do you think about having competitive historic brawl? Like, would it be worth it to have a historic brawl event? Ooh, we're getting rewarded for our greed. Would it be worth it to have a historic brawl event where you had to pay some amount of gold to get into it, just to keep people from scooping so much? Like, would that be worth considering? How about it, Goblin Matron? I assume getting a probably deadly Muxus. I wouldn't want to get rid of the free version. I don't want to get rid of the free version. Like, there should be a free-to-play option. So I don't think we should get rid of that. But in addition, all right, opponent, tutors up munitions expert, who's attacking. Well, play a Flesh Gorger. Pass the turn. Hope for no whammies. Mono White and Pauper is a free win. Alchemy cards are broken. Oh, it's Alchemy Pauper. Yeah, that would take some. That would take a bit of getting used to. Yeah, let's play the Puppeteer for now. Get in with the Vault Scourge. If they Muxus, we're probably dead. Apocalypse! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you. Thank you. Thank ya. I'll go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Pyre of Heroes. Cash in the Flesh Gorger. Grab a probably Shieldred here. Shieldred seems pretty good. Yorgo opponent. Please don't kill us. Oh, whoa. Okay, that does change things. Another munitions expert off the top. Into a Snoop, revealing a Snoop, into a Prospector, into a, oh my goodness. Wow, the luck of the goblins. The luck of the goblins. Oh. Wow, yeah, that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. The top of our opponent's deck was incredibly kind. So have y'all been doing the decathlon thing? The other thing that I always run into, yeah, Jim would have loved that. The other thing that I always run into with like decathlon style events, stuff like that, is it's like, I don't think I'm going to play the whatever it's leading up to anyway. So it's not like I have a big motivation to try to play the events to qualify. So I kind of only play them if they seem like they would be fun. So I think that's the issue, is I don't think I'm going to play the finals or whatever you get to. So is it worth sitting through a pauper format that it seems like isn't super fun based on what everyone's saying? I don't know. It's the sweatiest format. Yeah, and I'm glad that exists. Like, I think one thing that's really been lacking, the sleeves are cool. The sleeves are super cool. I think one thing that's really been lacking lately is options for competitive players. So I'm glad they're throwing in more stuff like that. Competitive players have gotten kind of the rawest steel the last few years. Would Fiend Artisan be good here, or is it too easy to remove? So the idea of this deck is it's not Mono Black Devotion, although it is a little Mono Black Devotion-y. But the idea of this deck is to be a Phyrexian tribal deck. So we really want all of our creatures to be Phyrexians, if that makes sense. Wait, where are we? 2 mana to level up? Well, go attacking. Hit ya. Yeah, let's just run out the Anointer. That's fine. So yeah, that if we were a normal Devotion deck, then Fiend Artisan definitely would be in the conversation. I did jump in, had fun, but failed Pauper. Lost motivation, try again. Really excited for Historic Pauper, but Standard plus HBG was really unfun. Is it true that that it's all just a mono white deck? Apparently, is that the main issue? So I could be Muxusing this turn? Jeez. Well, alright. Do a little evolving. And play a Vault Scourge. Pass the turn. Cool, ran into 5 of 7 mono white. Yeah, that doesn't sound super enjoyable. Is mono white like busted in Alchemy? It's mono white. Blue-red built to win against mono white and a smattering of other things. This is Phyrexian tribal indeed. Well, all right, Gix. Can we draw some cards, please? About it. Feels like they got munitions expert. Well, go attacking. Go attacking. Wow. Okay. Kills the Vault Scourge. Goblins get a lot of removal attached to their creatures in Historic, don't they? Well, hit you for 1. Draw a card. Do a little gurgling. Well, at some point we're going to have to meatball. Assuming we're still alive. About it. Muxus time? Alright. How good of a Muxus is it? Okay. I mean, very good, but not necessarily immediately dead good. No haste. Haste on top, though. I'll play the land. Go to combat. Hit ya. Draw a card. Meat Hook X2. Pass the turn. I mean, maybe is our opponent going to cast 2 Muxuses and we survive? Doesn't seem impossible here. Opponent down to 13. Land. Ooh, War Chief off the top. Okay, opponent's not going for the Muxus. They're going for the War Chief. And a Skirk Prospect. Oh, are they doing both? About it. Thinking. I mean, we can just meatball again. We can just meatball again. Oh, question for you, chat. What's... Oh, Oh, we're 1 mana short. What is the coolest commander that you haven't seen on Commander Clash yet? We have a anything goes week coming up, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to play. And I kind of want to play something that we haven't seen yet. Do we just have to? Yeah, I mean, I guess we just have to meatball again. Meatball X2. Keeping the haste off the board is we gotta keep the haste off the board. Yeah, I can't play attractions on Magic Online, although gonna play some attractions when I go to the SCG event in paper in a couple weeks. So if you're around, all right, opponent, sure, gonna sack their stuff to avoid the triggers. That's awkward timing, but okay. Oops. Pony, yes, there's the oops. Have you played with Asmore? I don't think so. Oh boy, Mux is number 2. Mux is number 2. Are we dead? Oh my god. No haste though, right? Jeez, Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Land? The opposite, and we're dead. Was that the maximum hit? Was that our opponent channeling their land to immediate demise into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, that was a full hit. Oh, that was not a land. I mean, we're super dead now. There's no way back. We're gonna draw the land here, though, I bet. Ooh, Infernal Grasp. Well, that still doesn't matter. Our opponent's board is just so impressive. And there's a munitions expert coming. Yeah. Yeah, opponent 6 for 6 with Mux. John Ironkin. Yeah, I actually played against someone playing that in Vegas, and it seemed really interesting. Preston. Oh, I'm super hyped for Preston. That's another one I'm going to play in paper, but I don't have the option on Magic Online. Magic Online, no Infinity, no Jumpstart. Sadly, it's kind of disappointing. In all honesty. Oh, speaking of Infinity, and we're gonna look at the Storm Scale. Did you see this? Did you see this stuff about Infinity? What do you think of this take on Infinity from Mark Rosewater? So the next unset appear, another unset is a if rather than a when. What makes the next unset an if? Infinity, at least out of the gate, didn't do great. Unsets tend to have better legs, so the product could still come around. It being delayed and coming out with other products, with one coming out on the same day, didn't help. What's the most popular unset? Unstable. Is it unstable? It depends on the metrics you use. For many of them, yes, but for sales, Infinity is number 1 by a pretty big margin. I'm confused. You said Infinity was more successful than Unstable by a pretty big margin. Yes, the player base is growing a lot. I'm a little confused here. If Infinity is the best-selling unset by a wide margin, why would a future unset be uncertain while the popularity of Unstable at the time seems to guarantee we'd get a follow-up? Sets have to sell well relevant to the sets around it. So basically, if you take all this together, it seems like Infinity didn't do that well, which got me wondering, did any of you buy Infinity? Or was that one of the products that people just ignored? I believe I played Blim once when it first came out. Merkle was played, and it actually kind of broke Magic Online. Skipped Infinity. Unstable was neat. I bought 3 packs of it and regret it. I bought 3 packs to get a couple of lands. I drafted it once. Every round went past time. Yes, we ran into that same problem. We did. Someone had a booster box. I think Tomer had a booster box that he brought to Vegas, so we tried to draft it. Oh my god. it took us so long to draft and try to play it. Like, there's just so much text and the mechanics are so weird that even for us as people who do Magic all the time, it was very difficult. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Is a one-off thing. I think drafting an unset like regularly would be annoying, but as a one-off thing, it was pretty sweet. The Cardboard Samurai for the 14th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. I mean, I think the win was the Shocklands, although the Shocklands, I guess, could have been in any set. So I don't know if you can like count that as a plus for Infinity. The fact that there were sweet Shocklands. All right, let's go through the Storm Scale update. This is for Throne of Eldraine through Strixhaven Part 2. So we looked at this other one a couple of weeks ago. This is basically Zendikar Rising through present. If you're not familiar with the Storm Scale, the Storm Scale is Mark Rosewater saying how likely it is for certain mechanics to come back in Magic. So, starting with Zendikar Rising, MDFCs, very popular, to popular, which is good. MDFCs, I think, deserve to be considered very good. Modal MDFCs were introduced in Zendikar Rising with lands on the back, and then they appeared on Kaldheim Gods. Finally, they were in Strixhaven as Deans. The land versions were the most popular. The Deans were the least popular for being too wordy on the back, which is, I think, a very legit criticism. Players seem to like MDFCs, but there were some lessons we learned about them to make them more appealing, like keep the back simple. That would probably be true about the front as well, but I should also point out that the DFC is a category which includes transforming DFCs, which is quite popular with players. Lots of design space, lots of flexibility, not problematic, playability effective. MDFCs require sleeve cards or checklists, blah, blah, blah. Storm Scale 4, so MDFCs likely to come back, hopefully with less words. Party, unpopular. Party was such a bad mechanic. Oh, Party. It was unpopular. The least popular of the Zendikar name keywords. It's rigid, it's problematic, not likely to come back. Storm Scale 8, not beloved and hard to balance, which is not a recipe for it to return, but there was something lovable about the flavor. I do see players requesting we bring it back. I wonder if that could be one that they bring back and do right. I think that there was potential there. I remember when they print out the party mechanic, my expectation was it's bad now, but we're going to get to this D&D set, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, in a few months. They're going to fill it out, and it's going to be a thing eventually, and that just never happened. So I feel like if they're going to go back to it, they need to actually embrace it. Yeah, the payoffs were not very good. The payoffs were like Squad Commander and Linvala, so there just wasn't really a reason to go through the cost. And then we ran into the issue, too. I think Coveted Prize might be one of the best examples, or Squad Commander even. You want party payoffs who do something if you don't have a full party. The stuff that's like, if you have a full party, I'm absurd. If you don't have a full party, I do nothing. Those are some of the tough ones. Yawn Leaf Heart for the 20th month. Let's go indeed. The thing that makes me sad about Party is that they could have done it so much better than what they did. Although my Party deck is one of my favorite historic brawl decks. Yeah, I'm glad that Party exists. But I do think it could have been executed better. Also, Snap-on equipment. I mean, I think what do you think of Snap-on equipment? Also, welcome back to the Fishbowl, by the way. Big soup cheer for you. I think that Snap-on equipment are a really awesome way of fixing the issues with equipment. The slowness of them, the investing mana only to get blown out, turning them into like one-shot spells that then turn into equipment. I hope we see more of them. And it seems like, from Mark Rosewater's perspective, they were popular, pretty flexible, not problematic design-wise, no playability issues. Storm Scale 2, they are decudious. So they could be showing up pretty much any set. Boast. Oh, chat. What do you think of Boast? I actually forgot Boast was a mechanic. Did you know that Burgi, infamous combo piece Burgi that we've seen break Alchemy, we've seen break Historic, we've played in multiple formats. Did you know I had Boast text on it? Everyone plays this for its mana thing. When you cast a spell, you get a red mana, it lasts for the turn. It's actually a boast card. Creatures you control can boast twice rather than once. I don't think most people know that. I always forget that until someone reminds me. Did you know that Burgi is actually a boast card? Boast was so... The flavor of it is sweet. I will give it that. And Mark Rosewater, I think, actually has... Yeah... Down here at the bottom, no one reads that far, but yes, it's a Boast-a-Monagon, actually. So Mark Rosewater actually has a really, I think, insightful point about bows. Lord Space Lad, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super shoot for you. Thank you. Oh, he actually built a Burgee bow stack. That's super sweet. Really insightful take on bows. So it was not popular. Fell into the bottom 25% in terms of popularity. Says, I think people saw this as a drawback mechanic. Here's a cool activated ability that you can't use all the time. It was meant to be an attract trigger that required mana, but I understand that how we templated the mechanic matters a great deal with how it is perceived publicly. I think that is a really good point. I think that's kind of, now that Mark says this, I was thinking about it, I was like, I think that's kind of how I felt, where this was like, here's this really cool thing, but no, you can't use it, no. And it made it feel like a negative, when what Boast wanted to be was, if you attack, pay 2 mana and tutor with Vargoth, or pay 2 mana, make a token. Like, that's how they wanted to word it, in a positive way. Like, here's a reward for you attacking, when instead the way that they did word it, with this, like, here's this ability, and then in the fine print, only do this if you're attacking only once each turn. The way that they did word it made it feel like a negative. Like, it was something that was, like, right in front of you, but you couldn't quite grasp. So I think that was a really insightful little bit of a design tidbit for Mark Rosewater. I very much agree with that. I think if it was made the opposite way, it would have been received a lot better. But design space, medium, neutral, not problematic. 6, both would be easy to bring back in the right set, and we'd consider it, but it's not the kind of mechanic that players are clamoring for return. Changelings, super popular, tons of design space, playability not affected. 4 on the Storm scale. Players love Changelings. It's a good glue for a creature type set, something we make often. I have every belief that we'll see it return, most likely numerous times. Foretell from Keldheim, very popular. That surprised me. Did you know that Foretell was very popular? I thought that Foretell was not very popular, but maybe, I thought it was like medium. I guess I thought it was just kind of like an average mechanic. I was surprised that it was one of the most popular mechanics in the time frame of the Storm scale article. Because it had Elrond's Epiphany, which was kind of broken. And then I guess it did have like a lot of decent cards, like Behold the Multiverse and cards like that. But I thought it was just kind of like, whatever. But apparently it was super popular. Decent amount of design space, can go on any card type, which is nice. Neutral as far as versatility, neutral as far as design and development. Storm scale 4 was a big hit, flexible enough to use in various types of sets, probably coming back. Snow, popular, ended up second in our polling for the quarter. Overall it's liked, but it's more polarizing than the average mechanic. Fans of Snow adore it, but others were cold on it. Very good, Mark. Lots of design space. You can stick Snow on pretty much anything. Playability affected. Snow requires some monitoring of Snow permanents, and as with any permanent type, this is sometimes hard to track. That's an interesting point I hadn't really thought of, but there are things that are like the number of Snow permanents you control. 5 on the Storm scale. Lessons. This one also surprised me. Lessons liked. They came in 3rd in the poll. Did you realize that lessons were liked? I thought lessons are, I think, a mechanic that started off really bad and then became more liked as we went along. Major Killjoy for the 13th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Shoops here for you. Thank you. Lessons actually ended up being kind of heavily played in Standard. Divide by Zero ended up getting banned in Standard. All-Star Limited mechanic, lessons in cards with Learn were 3rd in the poll. They're tricky to draft, not playable in Commander, so I think most players don't have much experience with them. Apparently, drafting Commander is like really the meat of Magic these days. If most players don't have experience, if cards aren't played in those formats, the players who opted into playing Lessons and Learn spells do seem to enjoy them. Design space, medium. A decent amount of design space. I could imagine different sets that will have fetching of different things. Intrigued by the scope of this mechanic seems to hint at. It's rigid, neutral, playability is affected, logistical issue because you must monitor cards that are in your deck. Storm scale 6. I assume we'll do lessons and spells that learn again later or something similar, but we need to find the right set to make sense. I will say, knowing that there's a decent chance that lessons come back, that does kind of seem to matter financially, I think. I like lessons, but hate divide by zero. I feel like if we get more good learn cards and lesson cards, the old ones that were decent could end up going up in value, but that's definitely like a long-term thing. Magecraft, popular, medium, not effective, storm scale 5. Magecraft needs the right environment to shine, but it is popular and has a lot of design space and easy to balance, so I expect it'll come back. I think that Magecraft was a decent mechanic. It sort of feels like prowess, though. That's the one thing that was a little bit weird. I know the difference is that it triggers off spells being copied as well, but it's so close to prowess that it's easy to think of it that way. The storm scale is how likely mechanics are to come back in the future. Mystical archives and bonus sheets, I mean, everyone loves them. Very popular. Is there anyone who doesn't like things like mystical archives or other bonus sheets? Did we not address companions? One of the most broken mechanics. This was a part 2. So we looked at, this was the last mechanic. Bonus sheets likely to come back because they're super popular, but not in every set, used judiciously in the future. The part 1, not going to go through all of this again because we looked at it a couple weeks ago when it was published, but the part 1 of the article series does cover some of the really broken eras with Throne of Eldraine. Also covers companions in there. Companions a 9, the least likely mechanic to return out of the last couple years of Magic. Not quite a 10, although even Mark says I probably should have given it a 10. But Mark, you know, he loves his companions for some reason, so could not bear to give them the full never coming back 10. Mystical Archive sales sets are great. New free art on cards. Yeah, I mean, I think that more of those are good. I would be, at the risk of turning them into full border lands where we do them so much they're not exciting anymore, if every set, well, I'll put it in the, I probably should have created a command for this, but yeah, here's the part 1 of the Storm Scale article, and here is the part 2, if you want to read it yourself. Companion worst mechanic this century. I would argue that Companion is literally the worst mechanic in the history of the game. I made a video about that at the time when they first came out, and I stand by that. Oh no, this deck again. And I stand by that to this day. I really truly think that it is the thing that gets me. The thing that gets me about Companion is Wizards knew they shouldn't do it, and they did it anyway. There's like articles of them saying like variance is the lifeblood of the game. We can never print a mechanic like this. And for some reason, by which I don't know, group, I don't hysteria. I don't even know like why everyone at Wizards suddenly decided that it would be an okay thing to print. But for some reason, they all of a sudden did this thing that they knew and said many times that they shouldn't do. So that's what gets me. That's why I think Companions is worse than banding, worse than Bushido, worse than phasing, whatever. It's the fact that they knew and they did it anyway. That's the part that really drives me crazy about it. Because mistakes happen. Also, Average Fox, for the 17th month, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Big super cheer for you. Mistakes will happen. Broken things will happen. Wizards is going to try new things. And some of them are going to be, broken. That's just how it works, for better or worse. And that's fine. I want Wizards to keep taking chances. A good example of this, I think, is War of the Spark Planeswalkers. War of the Spark Planeswalkers, Wizards went too far printing the ooh, can we kill our opponent here? Is there any way? Wizards went too far. So what does this do? Gets +1/+1 and gains menace until end of turn. All right, so Defiler gets menace. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I don't think we can lethal him though. Well, Defiler. Draw a card. Menace. If this ends with our opponent spinning into Ugin, I'm going to be so sad. Vault Scourge. Run it out. Menace it. This Defiler's actually not been bad. Go to combat, hit ya. Take 11. Well, let's see what our opponent spins into. If they spin into Ugin, we're gonna die. Otherwise, we should be good. Opponent untaps with a Golos and all the colors of mana. They spin. They hit Karn. Okay, that's fine. We can beat a Karn. We can beat a Karn. Opponent does gain a life, but I think we beat a Karn, right? We better be able to beat a Karn. Hey, Seth, you asked for a commander you've never had on Goldfish Commander. Has Far Traveler Adrian Abdul been played? I have a deck that has a draw potential like crazy and has been fun with cards like Restor Angel and Bombat Bazaar Brigade. Ooh, no, I actually have a paper deck that's built around Adrian Abdul, but I don't think it's been played online. I'll have to confirm that they're online. I know some of the Baldur's Gate cards made it, and some of them didn't. But if it is online, that could be a sweet one to play. Oh, so phasing. I started ranting and then got distracted by playing Magic. So phasing. The problem with phasing isn't things that phase out like happened today. It's the mechanic phasing is known as one of the worst ever mechanics. The actual mechanic of phasing was kind of like phase out, which we see today, but you just had permanents that would phase in and out every turn cycle. So there were just stuff that would exist half the time. So you'd have to like do all this tracking of, is this thing phased in or is this thing phased back out? And it was just like underpowered, and everything about it was really bad. So if you look at the storm scale, phasing the mechanic is considered to be like a 10, like never coming back, one of the worst mechanics Wizards ever did. Phasing stuff out like Teferi's Protection or slip out the back, that's considered to be super fine. So that is the distinction. There's, even though they're both called phasing, there's kind of like a distinction between those two actual mechanics. But yeah, the original phasing, not a great mechanic by any means. All right, how do we beat this colorless deck? Probably go down the fatal pushes, seem pretty bad. Run it like that. Is Garth One-Eyed any good in Commander? I've never played Commander on Arena. My favorite MTG novel, so playing him is kind of appealing. Garth is very strong. It's a very strong commander. Or, I mean, probably not the actual like S tier strongest possible, but maybe one step below. I think out of 5-color commanders, probably like Kenrith. Kenrith is probably the strongest, right? Who else? What would be the 5-color commander tier list? I'm actually kind of curious now. Let's look on EDH Rec real quick. So I think that as far as just overall power level, discounting stuff that needs a specific tribe, like Go Shentai, great if you're a Shrine deck, otherwise useless. Dragon, great if your Dragon's otherwise useless. I think Kenrith, just like generic value, probably number 1, followed by maybe Joda. And then I think that Garth is like kind of that next level. So yeah, it's a very good commander. If you enjoy it, you can definitely build a strong deck around it. Jico! Joda can be really good too. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. Najila's kind of straight up broken. But Najila's more of like kind of a warrior combo commander, right? Do people play Najila just as like a generic good stuff commander? Wow, did our opponent mull a 4? Opponent's LSVing over there. I'm working on this video about plays that ended up leading to rules changes. And one of them that I had forgotten about that I remembered was the LSV Moldafor in the Pro Tour. I don't know how many of you remember that. How many of you do you remember watching? I think it was Pro Tour Guilds of Ravnica. So it wasn't that long ago. And it was like Wizard's dream, like LSV, the most popular player, makes it to the top 8. He makes it all the way to the finals. The finals, Wizards keeps getting luckier. It goes to the first 4 games. It's 2-2. So they got to play a game 5. The game 5 is for everything. A ton of money on the line. Everyone's watching. And then all of a sudden, LSV mulligans and mulligans and mulligans and mulligans, keeps a 4-card hand, gets run over. It's like the least climatic ending possible to a really interesting tournament. And then like 2 months later, London mulligans. We were switching the mulligan rule. I don't think Wizards ever explicitly said it was because LSV's mulled it for the Pro Tour, but you know, based on the timing, it had to play into it. And just like that happening on the biggest stage in the biggest tournament. Didn't that mull happen? Then the next one they redid. Basically, yes. Yeah, they announced the test of the London mulligan rule right after that tournament, and then they did a tournament that was a test run, and then they implemented the London mulligan game wide like 6 months later. It had to be. Yeah, there's some good ones. Oh, the one I want the most, and I'm never gonna be able to find it. I think the most exciting lost piece of Magic media, it's gotta be the Pro Tour Riot. I would give that and the guy eating his Power 9 to prove he wasn't cheating. If I could find those videos, oh, I would love to see those videos. Those are the two that I want to see more than anything. Well, pass the turn. Even LSV says he thinks he has a role. I mean, he definitely did, right? Oh, I didn't tell you all that story? Oh, the story, it's so good. It's so good. I really want to do a video about this. I thought I already told everyone this story, but maybe I didn't. There's a guy. It was a time walk. He ate his time walk. So there's this guy. He's playing in a Win a Power 9 tournament. This was like 20 years ago. He's playing in a vintage Win a Power 9 tournament where like first place gets a Black Lotus, second place gets a time walk or an ancestral, and it goes down like that until the top 9 places would get a Power 9, and the whole Power 9's given away. So he's playing in this tournament. The judge thinks he's cheating. He says that he stayed up all night, drove 13 hours with his friend to go to this tournament, didn't sleep at all, went right into playing. So he was tired and just like not playing, super sharply. So I don't know. We've heard cheaters say that in the past. That's classic Alex Bertoncini, sloppy play, not cheating. But whether or not he was cheating, who knows? But the judge thought he was cheating. This comes to a head in the top 8 when he goes to play his semifinals match, and after they shuffle up and get ready to play, the dude looks at the bottom card of his deck for some reason, and he says, "Well, in my play group, that's what we do to know who goes first. We look at the bottom card of our deck. Whoever has the highest mana value, they get to go first." The judge not having it. The judge says, "You're cheating. I'm going to disqualify you." So the guy takes and pulls apart his deck, goes through his deck till he finds his time walk out of his vintage deck, pulls his time walk out of the deck, and says to the judge, would I if I cared so much about money that I would cheat, would I do this? Would I eat my time walk? And he rips his time walk into 4 pieces, and then he starts eating the time walk, and he does it apparently based on people who are there going like, extra turn, so delicious, and saying just like these ridiculous kind of mocking phrases as he eats his time walk and then gets kicked out of the tournament. Such a ridiculous piece of Magic lore, because there's no the funny thing is, like, it doesn't prove you weren't cheating. Like, even the whole logic behind it doesn't make sense, because like I guess the argument is, if I really cared about money that much, I wouldn't eat this expensive card. But that to me doesn't hold that much weight, really. And then, like 10 years later, all of a sudden, yeah, I think we could have won here if I was paying attention and not telling the story. And then, like 10 years later, a piece of the time walk shows up on eBay with as heavy played with severe teeth damage. someone had scarfed it up at the tournament as they watched him do it, and put and put it into and put it up on eBay to try to sell it. I feel like he proves he was using counterfeit cards, if anything. Apparently it was not. Apparently, I mean, I guess other people said that too. They'd be using counterfeit cards. Although it's worth mentioning, this was early 2000s. So this was before counterfeits were like kind of a big known thing that was a big conversation part of the game. Any tip to someone who wants to start in YouTube? I mean, I think it's kind of the same advice as content, like, or is making Magic content when people ask about that. Make videos that you like making. Like, go into it because you want to do it, because you're enjoying it, because it's fun. Don't go into it with the expectation of making a lot of money or getting famous, because that's really not how it works for 99.9% of people. Like that, but go into it because you're enjoying it and you're loving it. Make the videos that you want to make, that you're interested in, that you're enjoying making, and then your audience is also going to enjoy those videos. And being consistent is absolutely huge. And I know it's super hard, especially if you are just doing it as a hobby. But as far as actually growing it and getting subscribers and stuff, one of the most important things is being able to keep a consistent upload schedule, even if that schedule's once a week or once a month, depending on the time of content, the type of content that you're making. But I think that's really important. If you can be like, okay, every whatever Friday, I'm gonna have a video, and try to stick to that. Not only does that help your audience who will know to expect a video. If you want to see against the odds, let's say, then you can go to the YouTube on Wednesday, and there'll be an against the odds. Not only does it help the audience, but it also helps you as the creator, I think, to be motivated. You have a bit of a time frame, end date, deadline that you have to meet, so it helps you keep going too. What's the next odds anyway? I can't tell you. I can tell you it's a sweet one. I can tell you it involves one of my favorite cards in the absolute history of the game, and I realized. Oh, I guess I'll tell you. It's a Panharmonicon deck. It might be a Panharmonicon deck. I realized that there's some new cards that are actually like really sweet with Panharmonicon. Some Brothers War stuff that I had kind of overlooked as far as their Panharmonicon implications. So yes, we're doing some Panharmoniconing for tomorrow's Against Odds, and the deck's actually pretty sweet. Getting geared up for eventual Elish Nord. We played Legacy Panharmonicon a long time ago, and we actually went 4-1 in a Legacy League. We got very close to 5-0ing. Mono Blue to Mon Wizards? I think so, unless it was another one. Did I write you back, Corneus? There might be some displacing involved. There might be some actually, the big card. I mean, yes, there are Eldrazi displacers. I didn't realize how good the Mightstone and the Weakstone is. The Mightstone and the Weakstone is like perfect for Panharmonicon. If you think about what Panharmonicon wants, you have turn 4, you take off for Panharmonicon, and you fall behind, which means turn 5 is really important for catching back up. So that often means you want one of two things. You either want removal or you want card draw, depending on the situation. The Mightstone and the Weakstone is like the perfect card for that. It's essentially a Cloud Blazer, one of the best card draw spells in old Panharmonicon decks. That's also like a better Sky Sovereign. Is a removal spell, and it's flexible, and you can choose between the two, so you can draw some cards and kill something. So yeah, that's the card that really sold me on it. I think it's just like absolutely perfect for what Panharmonicon is trying to do. Specific days you play Pioneer, not currently. So there's YouTube gameplay videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then there's streams Tuesday and Thursday. But it's kind of whatever format I feel like playing. So there's not really any specific format on any day. So coming up, let's see. Tomorrow we're playing what? Explorer. There's modern coming up on Monday. There's historic. Actually, there's kind of a huge mixture of formats coming up. I think pretty much all the major formats over the next couple weeks have videos or streams. I mean, a couple days is fine, Magikarp. Maybe like before the next stream, maybe, if that works. Opponent. This Wizards deck is super scary. Although, we'll see. We can gain some life next turn. Wait, how is this 5 power? Oh no, and there's Phoenixes. Okay, opponent. Oh god, many Phoenixes. And a land. Goes to combat, double Phoenix. How is this 5 powered? Oh, Symmetry Sage. All right. Yeah. 3/6. It's just a 1. Yeah, that's not good. I think that makes us die. This hand is not going to say we can gain 4, but that's not enough. Yeah, I forgot this was powered up in historic. It's a 3/3 instead of a 2/2. Oh, let me see Gordius. One Punch Phoenix is a good way to think of this deck. The power of the wizard package is actually really scary. I actually think the non-Phoenix version is even scarier, unless it's the same deck. But the one that like Dreadhorde Arcanist is and plays it with haste and then buffs. I died to that deck on turn 3 kind of all the time. Opponent getting in. Ooh, let me see Corneas. I do love me some Naban. That looks super fun. Maybe we played Mono Blue Devotion a while ago, and the issue we ran into was it just wasn't consistent enough. But we weren't playing Wizard, so maybe. Oh, they actually have a blocker. Maybe the Wizard package can give enough consistency to make it work. Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess we're gonna die either way. Well, okay, Vault Scourge. Pump the Flash Gorger. Flash Gorger. Pump the Flash Gorger. Grow it. Grow it. Could we have won if they didn't have a blocker? Opponent blocks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we would have too. Oh, Symmetry Sage OP. Yeah, the Wizard list looks good. Wait, what was the punt? Did we actually punt there? Dice One Historic has been a blast. Thanks for all the protection spells. Ooh, you could have buffed your 1-drop. You had lethal. Wait, wouldn't they? Oh, 1, 2. Yeah, you might be right. Because Flesh Gorger already has Menace. Yeah, you're right. We might actually had a chance there. I think you might actually be correct. I will accept a punt on that one. How do we fight this deck though? I will say why this deck has actually performed oddly well record-wise. We haven't got to do too much potting, which is a little sad. We really wanted to do sweet pod things, and we just haven't had too many pod games. Massacre Worm, probably go down the Shieldred. I can't imagine that we're actually getting Shieldred in this matchup. Cyclosis Crawler is really, really, really bad. It has been somewhere between bad and uncastable. Historic is what we're playing at the moment. Somewhere between bad and uncastable, but it's just a necessary evil for the pod plan. Because we need a 5-drop that's a Phyrexian to make the pod thing work, and it is quite literally the only option in our colors. We were playing it by default, but it's not powerful. I think, as I said before, I think this is one of those decks that should get hopefully a decent amount better once we get the new Phyrexia set. Yeah, we'll definitely have to try it again once we get more Phyrexians. I mean, it's worked relatively well. Better than, I guess, when you hear the name Phyrexian Tribal Birthing Pod, you don't actually think competitive, at least I don't. So I think compared to the super janky sounding name, it's actually won a couple games. It's done all right. I'll play a land, and yeah, I think we need to probably need to first run out stuff that Anointer can reanimate. Run out the dorks. Yeah, especially if we can get a couple more pieces so we can cut some of the weaker cards, there could actually be some weird Phyrexian Devotion deck, I think. Goldfish Crew should do a Brawl tournament. Ooh, Brawl is pretty fun. I mean, I've been making Brawl videos once in a while, like one a month-ish, and it's actually a really fun format. I don't know about the new alchemy stuff people were talking about earlier with the midnight clock commander causing problems. That might be annoying, but in general, I always have fun when I get to play Brawl. Yeah, there's also the Defiler cycle in many of the colors is a 5-drop Phyrexian. The initial build we played was a Demir build, and we were playing the blue Defiler, and it was, I think, better than what we got now than Psychosis Crawler, just because it was always castable. But still, there's nothing that really works super well with the pod plan. Midnight Clock is in the Historic Brawl, or is it implied when talking about Brawl? Oh, no, people earlier were talking about, what's the name of the commander? It's a new alchemy commander that conjures a Midnight Clock to the battlefield, which is apparently causing some issues for some people. Rusco, that sounds right. Yeah, but people were saying that was kind of ruining the format for them. Are you better off playing an off-color 5-drop you can only cast through Pyre than a crawler that you never want to cast in the first place? I mean, maybe the best solution is just actually playing a second color. I think if I was going to add... all right, here they come. If I was going to add a off-color 5-drop, I would probably add the mana to cast it. I think we could even keep the Devotion theme if we really wanted to, but the cost is low enough. The mana is good enough, I think, in Historic that I think we could... yeah. I think we could splash something and still make it work. Yeah, I mean, the power queue thing is so weird. We don't even know, right? We don't even... oh, jeez, so aggro. Well, okay. Odds out of here. Not dead yet. Extinction event for the Wizards. Devin the Dude, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank you. Arclight, Hardcast, Bonnet, Land, it's us. Ooh, another one. Well, let's do a little flesh gorging. Run out of Valve Sleeper. Pass the turn. About it on depths. if we get to play at SCGCon New Jersey, I'd love to play against you using my Mono Red Jaxus ETB deck. I would love to see that. Jaxus is such a cool card. So if you're around and want to get in some games, find me, because I'd love to see Jaxus in action. Favorite Brawl deck? I mean, I love Pit or Monocon decks, just like playing for fun. I'll play some like Yarok, Dirtly Blink pile, ETB pile. But one of the cool things about making Historic Brawl content is it's made me play, and this has happened with Commander Clash too, that making content about these formats makes me keep trying new things that I maybe wouldn't otherwise. About it. Please block. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Definitely not meatballing you. All right, opponent takes the beats. Well, in that case, I guess we go evens. Extinction event looking good here. Pass the turn. Sweep the board. But yeah, that's been one of the sweetest things. So Prosper's really cool opponent. Does some ledger shredding. Last deck we played was Gix, and Gix was super fun too. Just stealing your opponent's cards. So there's actually a lot of decks that I enjoy. Yeah, that's one of the problems with Yarok is it might actually be a little bit too good. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent's gonna take it. All right, well, level up. And level up. Headshot. Pass the turn. We might be winning this. Gix is put into discard 10 cards for no reason. I know that feeling. When is the next Historic Brawl coming out? Gix wasn't that long ago. I haven't recorded another one yet, but probably another couple of weeks most likely. Sometime in January though, I think. So far the response has been pretty good. Good enough. I was worried that just no one would watch it, but I think that Brawl is increasing in popularity to the point where it's actually a legit option for recording, and that's super awesome because I have been having a lot of fun playing it, which is the best part. Sometime in January, before the end of January. Yeah, people game the system. Golos is tier 1, but Ramos is tier 3, so people play Ramos as their commander so they can just play 5-color good stuff in a lower tier. Yeah, I mean, isn't that part of the issue with this, like, commander? Do they get another Phoenix? I mean, we're not dead with just one Phoenix. Okay, Abrades. Here comes the Phoenix. Phoenix is coming back is definitely an issue. So we take 6 and then we hit for 3. The lifelink on the Flesh Gorger has been barely keeping us around. But that's kind of the issue that people can game the system. Which is why I think the whole system's just like a little, maybe there's a better way of doing it. It shouldn't be only based on Commander. That's what I'm trying to say. It shouldn't be just based on Commander because... Huh. So the opponent's going to block and kill that. What do we do? I'll go to combat attack. Opponent gonna double block. So I think we just hit the Ledger Shredder. Meat Hook Massacre. Sweep the board again for now. Pass the turn. I think it's not about the formula. It's Brawler Historic. It is you and your charisma. Oh, well, thank you, and backpack. But yeah, I mean, I think I appreciate it. And maybe that's true to some extent. I don't know. What's the least popular format? We can put this to the test. What's the least popular format I can make a video about and see if anyone watches it? Kamigawa Black Tiny Leaders finally gets a chance to... Oh, no. I don't want to deal with the hate. Yeah, I think you're correct that that is the least popular format, but I don't want to deal with the hate that I would get for that. I want to live. I want to live, chat. I want to live. But yeah, it probably is alchemy by a pretty big margin. About it. Tiny Leaders was fun for a minute. When it first came out, I played it a little bit with Richard, and it was actually, oh no, is that another Arclight? Oh, and it was actually really fun. Oh no! I think we're gonna, boy, we got through the Arclights multiple times, but they just keep coming back. It was literally a minute, yeah. It just got old fast. That was essentially the issue with it. Yeah, now we're dead. It was fun, but after a while the fun just didn't last because the card pool was so small. So it got solved more or less. Highlander. Canadian Highlander does sound cool. I keep running into the, yeah, 3 Shredders, 2 Phoenixes. I keep running into the issue with formats not being supported on officially on something like Arena. I think is what ends up happening. It's tough if you can't just jump into an event and play it, is what I run into. Anyway, everyone, I gotta go pick up Bearby from the Bearby Sitters. So that brings us to the end of today's stream. So what do we learn? We learned that Phyrexia. What are you playing after this? That's all for today. But I got a bunch more decks for the future, so don't worry. Tons of sweet stuff coming up in the future on the YouTube tomorrow. Panharmonicon action for Against Odds. So check that out. Replay YouTube if you missed anything. If you need some cards yourself, you can get them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. And we'll be back Thursday to do some more streaming. So more streaming on the way. Hopefully we're back to normal. We're through the holidays. We're through Twitch crashing, all that stuff. So hopefully we're back to normal as far as the schedule. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being awesome. I love y'all. Have an amazing night. Have a great day. And I'll see you on Thursday. So until then, everyone, be awesome, whatever you're doing. And I will talk to you soon.